live, ladies and gentlemen, on Pop Culture Breakdown. Welcome to the show. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And oh dear, it's been a complicated week for Disney, in particular Disney Star Wars. We've still got the Peltz proxy thing that everybody's desperately maneuvering, because God knows it would be a terrible thing to have a guy who actually owns Disney stock on the Disney board actually trying to make them profitable. Oh, fucking heavens. What are we going to do about the agenda? Oh, gosh. How can we go ahead and keep, flushing money down the toilet after the agenda if, we have a guy who's, losing big bucks every single time that we fuck up? We can't have that. Isn't that right, Disney? That's goddamn right. Welcome, my friends. We've got our panel of pop culture pundits here, and we're going to talk about shit. The rumors are just flying right and left about Disney Star Wars, and we're going to go ahead and kind of talk about all of those rumors from a place of great disappointment, anger, frustration, and disgust. But what the hell? For all of those ailments, Pop Culture Breakdown and this panel is your cure. So without further ado, let's go ahead and greet the panelists here. And of course, I want to say hi and hail to everyone in the chat. I want to say hey to all of my wrenches out there. Welcome to the show. Gary Ambrosia, good to see you, Gary. How you doing, man?
I'm hanging in there. Hail to the chat. Hail to the wrenches. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gary. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Mike, Mexican Iron Man, great picture, by the way, man. The lighting is just beautifully balanced. Exposure is perfect. You look great. You look like $1 million, Mike.
Oh, thanks. And super excited over the recent results from football playoff weekend. And Doomcock, as a long time, I consider you more than a friend, certainly way more than a YouTuber. I consider you brother, a member of the family. And I know that this coming weekend, the San Francisco 49ers can count on your support, sir.
Well, who are they playing?
That would be the Green Bay Packers.
I'm kind of a Packers
Is there
fan.
a question? Will my brother not be there for me in my time of need this weekend?
Well, my brother won't be with me. It's like a family divided. It's like a football civil war. Oh, no. But we'll come together at the end. It'll be okay. Regardless of whether...
Thanks for having me tonight.
You're welcome. Whether the 49ers win or Green Bay Packers win, we'll still be okay. We'll still be okay.
I'm pulling for the Lions.
What's that, Nick?
I said I'm pulling for the Lions or the Texans.
I don't have anything against the Lions. The Texans, okay. I mean, yeah, they're all right. I really don't have anything against any of the teams left. I'm not hostile towards them. I mean, it's just some that I prefer, but it's okay. It's okay. And if the 49ers win against the Packers, then sure, I'll be backing them, man. I'll be backing them to go forward more. We've got Douglas Nelson, a.k.a. Mr. Nailson. Hey, Douglas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm a bit under the weather, but I'll persevere.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Is it because you watched more Echo?
Well, it didn't help. But afterwards, I watched another new episode of Reacher, and that did some good. So
that helped a little bit, Yeah. That helped a little bit.
I've really been enjoying Reacher.
Yeah, Reacher is good.
Yeah, that's probably the best show on right now.
But since you guys raised the point, I keep seeing him as Captain America. I think he'd be a very good Captain America.
He would, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's as big as the fucking Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know. Paint his ass green. Let him be a Hulk.
I know. See, save money.
I know. Green. It's like, geez, you won't even have to do CGI on this guy. And Nick of Echo Base Network, who says Disney Star Wars sucks. I couldn't agree more, Nick. Welcome to the show.
Man, every time you think you're done with Disney Star Wars, man, the rumor mill pulls you right back in, and the dumb decisions on Disney's part pulls you back in. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. It's gonna be an interesting year for Disney Star Wars, to say the least.
Yeah, well, we know, regardless of which rainbow we follow, the pot of gold at the end is full of shit.
Yep.
That's what we just know. It's like you can follow that rainbow, and a lot of different Disney rainbows. At the end, it's just a crock of shit disguised as a pot of gold, and you know.
The only pot it goes to is a toilet.
That's exactly correct. I mean, honestly, I think the only solution is to stop watching Disney Star Wars. I think those are 5 words that everyone should get tattooed, like, on the back of their hand or their palm, so they can see it every day. And, oh yeah, I was going to watch some Disney Star Wars out of some sick habit, and now I'm going to get away from that. I'm going to break away and free myself from this shit. But we got a lot of Disney Star Wars rumors tonight to go over. We're going to talk about Paramount hates Captain Kirk as much as they hate Star Trek fans.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie that we love tonight is going to be Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yes, sir. There we go. One of the funniest movies ever made. Robert Wright. Hail to you, Robert. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Mike mentioned his team. My team doesn't deserve to take the field anymore. They're a marketing team that plays football. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you non-Cowboy fans will be happy to know that apparently Mike McCarthy is going to stay the coach. So we'll be stuck in mediocrity for another year.
Wow.
It's just funny how like the Cowboys mainly prosper playing on their cushy carpet that nobody else fucking plays on in the entire league, to my knowledge. And so, of course, they have an advantage. They're, little rugrats over there, like running on their fucking carpet. But other teams that play on, grass or whatever the fuck, Astro, whatever. It's just like they think that they've got it in the bag whenever they're at home. But it didn't really work out that way this past weekend. So
That was their first home loss this whole year, wasn't it?
First home loss in 16 games.
Yep. Well, the Packers just kind of clubbed them over the head. They were like baby seals out there. It was like they didn't know what to do. It's just true. It's just true, man.
It is.
It really just is that the pleading look in Dak Prescott's blank button eyes were just like so sad, so sad.
I guess the Packers trained on carpet. And,
I think maybe they did. Maybe they went out to carpet. Yeah, they just said they paid Carpet King to clear 100 yards in the store, and they just went and played there for a while and said, "Okay, we can do this," and just screwed them hard.
But there was a couple teams that got blown out this weekend. It wasn't just the Cowboys.
Oh no, we'll save the Phillies for when Andy gets here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll give it to poor Andy.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, man. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I was surprised. I'm surprised. I really am surprised at the collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, same.
Kind of insane. Really, for a while they were looking like the best team in the league, right there, up there with the Lions. And oh my God, the last 6 games. They just
fell apart.
Yeah, like a colony of honeybees in collapse. It just went this, franchise collapse syndrome. It's just like I don't know what happened. Of course, take a look at old Hurt's finger there. That was like it looked like it had been snapped in two.
Yeah,
So I mean.
He wasn't 100% for sure.
No, poor bastard.
But funny you mentioned bees. I actually learned something I didn't know about bees and honey this week. I didn't realize that honey was bees' throw up.
Well, that's charming.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah,
that's charming.
I never knew that.
Well,
like bee vomit on your toast.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I don't want no bee vomit on my cornbread. Okay?
I don't need none of that bee vomit shit.
Yeah.
But of course now at least bee vomit is sweet as opposed to regular vomit, which is what Disney crafts their scripts from, and
Yeah.
Right.
not sweet. It's narratively incoherent, but
Yeah.
we'll let that pass. Let's go ahead and go to the breakdown, and we'll start talking about some of these issues. So let's go ahead and start out with a video that I released yesterday. My intrepid team of Hollywood spies delivered unto me a breakdown of the current state of the plot of the alleged Rey movie, and it has its charms. So essentially, what my spies had reported is that there have been 6 versions of this script over a number of years. So this is like an old piece of shit that's been kicked around and shit on and thrown against the wall many times, and they've tweaked it, KK's been trying to get this piece of shit made forever. And the latest iteration is that basically Rey is running Jedi Academy. She's I guess she's sucking on the manatee milk and hanging around the weird rocky shit with the weird major domo aliens that just I don't know, pick kyber crystals in the fields and sing spirituals out there. I don't know what they fucking do, but and she's been knocked up, given birth to twins. We don't know whether it's Kylo Ren that somehow, I don't know. I won't even speculate. I know he didn't sleep with her, but maybe through the Force, he groped her. I don't know.
Yet another Force power.
Yes. Impregnation through desperate kiss, I guess. I don't know. But so she's given birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and surprise, surprise, the girl is good and the boy is evil. And he, turns to the dark side, and then he kills Rey. At which point, like, Harvey got all excited and said, I kind of like this movie. And then the sister essentially is the rest of the story is her trying to, I guess, either kill him or turn him back to the light side or something.
Wait a second. How do they know whether they're boy or girl? Or
well, now that, see,
excellent point, Gary.
That is
Yeah.
excellent. Why should
need
we?
who the fuck do the script writers think that they are? Just
I'm sure
determining the sex of these children or
It
the
really-
gender or whatever.
major stumbling block that might explain the delay.
Boy,
It's presumptuous.
Yeah.
sheer fucking hubris,
Sheer fucking hubris. Well said. Yes.
man.
Yeah. But anyway, that seems to be that they're gonna punk, old Rey out just like they punked Han Solo out. These people don't have an original thought in their fucking heads, to be honest. I don't know. I on one hand, it would be nice to see, Rey bite the big one, with her little jumping over the TIE fighter stunt. God, I sort of forgotten all about that. Then I saw a clip of it. It's like, oh, geez, it really is that bad. Why the fuck wasn't Kylo like pew-pewing at her? He's got guns on that thing, but nah, he just tries to ram her.
You're in a ship flying level to the ground, going after somebody like it's a car or something.
Yeah.
It was
I
so
know.
weird. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
why would anybody do this?
Maybe she was protesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good possibility.
It's possible. It's
Oh my
possible.
God.
About her role in this film.
But,
Yeah, please
but the
help.
thing is, the TIE fighter doesn't have any bumper. All it is in the front is a big fucking window. So
Yep.
you'd have basically a big, Rey-sized bug splat on the window, and then you'd crash into a mountain and explode, which I would have loved that ending. You know,
That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
just
you're
been
not even
great.
moving sideways to like knife at her with the sharp, pointy ends of the ship either.
No, well, that would take precision. Of course, you could just
Yeah.
shoot her.
Yes.
You could just shoot her. I mean,
Well,
it does
he
have guns and shit.
couldn't bring himself to do it because
Doesn't he have force powers too?
Yes, he
Couldn't
does.
he
on
have-
occasion. On occasion.
Couldn't he have guided the blaster bolts toward her? You know, like kind of like Luke did. You know, in the Death Star. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
Well, he
Yeah.
was a troubled young man.
yeah, but wouldn't that have been great? Like he hits her and she goes, and suddenly like the window's just covered with Ray, and then
He's
he
trying to
can't
use the
see, and he's
windshield
like,
wipers.
yeah, he's like, uh-oh.
you just hear, "Ah, shit," and you see
Yeah,
the wiper
exactly.
like.
Oh shit! And then it wipes. The wipe it slowly reveals a giant mountain, and he's like, "Oh no!"
I can totally see that being a Family Guy skit.
Wipers pushing away the brunette hair. You know,
Get this thing off my window.
And it explodes, and then they do the da 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 da. Yeah, I would love that. That would be
That
far
really did subvert my
superior film.
expectations.
Yes, I would like that. I would like that. But anyway, what do you guys think of this particular storyline?
Oh my god, it's so awesome! I can't wait.
Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
Finally gonna bring the Rey character to fruition.
And kill her.
Yeah, you know, it'd be the
Is that
first-
really what they're gonna do? They're gonna kill her?
Well, that's
Well,
what
no.
the current version of the script is. Now this thing has been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten to fucking death. You know.
Yeah.
And not by the same guy either. I mean, this Stephen Knight guy didn't write all 6 versions. I mean, this is.
Right.
I understand that this draft has been circulating for years. Like they actually had the first draft of this before Rusev Soywoker. I mean, Kennedy's been trying to ram this like Rey restarts the Jedi Academy shit ever since then.
But then they're just gonna whack her like in the first movie.
Well, but then see her daughter. See the patriarchy kills Rey, but then the daughter like sets the patriarchy straight. You see
who are
how
these
the
people
time
loyal
was-
to? Who do they? Who are they?
No,
faithful
nobody.
Yeah,
To?
no.
Obviously.
No, well,
Jeez. Like
that's what-
that's shocking to me. That's really shocking. That's a new low.
It's
Well,
possible
it's-
that Daisy Ridley said, "Okay, I'll do one more if you kill me off."
Yeah. And
Probably.
you have to chop off her hand.
I
Wow.
You gotta have that in there.
You know, we got to
Wow.
tie to the original trilogy, so let's make Chewbacca the father.
Sad.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
my.
that's a
Sad.
candidate.
There's a horny, well-hung porg like, with a big grin on his face, you know.
Yeah, then we get the sequel to the holiday special with the little kid, Lumpy. Lumpy Ray.
Lumpy Ray.
You're right.
No, but the thing is, like I said in my video, I said that this absolutely illustrates the problem with Disney Star Wars is that there are no characters. They're just placeholders. There are no real characters. They are only pieces to move around the board to make their propaganda points. They're only vessels to be filled with the message. And they have no hesitation about breaking the vessel to put the message in another younger vessel, like Rey's daughter, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and maybe that's what they're thinking. It's like, well, the whole Rey thing didn't really work out, did it? So we'll just bump her off and have Rey 2.0.
Excuse me, Ray, can you step over here behind the barn, please? Just over here.
old Yeller Saber.
Oh, Lord.
Hey Ray, want to go see the rabbits?
Oh, no.
The rabbits, George? Yeah,
That's right.
sure. The rabbits. Yeah. But yeah, this is basically what they're trying to peddle here. And it does have its attraction, but Yeah, I think they're just basically I mean, maybe even the Wokies are just looking at all the leftover, Ray figures at Walmart or Ollie's or wherever, whatever outlet has a big bargain bin with Ray's name on it, and they say, okay, well, we'll go ahead and kill her off and move to Ray 2.0. Maybe that's the thing.
Maybe they're trying to bring us back.
Yeah, but sucker.
But they
us,
don't realize that we are laughing, and then they're gonna scare away the only 10 people that were going to watch the fucking movies for Ray.
Well, I mean, that's not the point. I mean, because it's like, hey, we're gonna get rid of Ray as if we're gonna end her story. You never told a Ray story.
It's 3 words. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't want to hear crap when the baby comes out if the daughter looks Mexican. Okay, I'm just telling you guys.
Yeah.
They got windows on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, right.
That's in Lars Homestead.
That's right. May the force be with you and also in you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, man.
Oh dear. But so there's that. But then there's also interesting rumors. I think Nick did a video about it. Although I'm not sure where this rumor originated, but essentially that the Ray movie is canceled or delayed.
Delayed indefinitely is what was being reported on.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I asked my Hollywood spies about. I actually had a really good conversation with him yesterday, and I asked them about this. Well, has it been canceled? Is it and what they would confirm is that, well, there is no finalized script, that they can't settle on a script. This is the current iteration of it, but so I mean, it is delayed to the extent that any bullshit, like I've heard shit about, they're going to start filming in April. That's a total crock of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any fucking script. So it's not going to happen, but I'm not sure about what the ultimate status of it is. What did you hear, Nick, and what do you think about it, and what have you got to report on it?
So what we had heard was that it had been delayed indefinitely because for 2 reasons. One, they couldn't get a script that everybody could get on the same page on, and from the research they were doing as far as whether or not they should even do this movie at all, it kept coming back that they should not even make this movie. So with no script, with the analytics or the research they were doing on the movie itself, they decided that they were just going to delay it or shelve it for now, maybe come back to it later. But then Gizmodo came out, and a lot of people were reporting on this yesterday.
Right, I know.
But then Gizmodo came out today and said that it hasn't been delayed. So There's no official word from Lucasfilm, and at this point, I don't know what to believe, because Lucasfilm is such a disaster and a mess over there. They have so many things that are, I mean, Rian Johnson's trilogy is still in development, supposedly.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. That's a crock of shit.
Yeah, so there's so many other projects of theirs that are in development or that they're working on or that they announce, and that just nothing ever happens of it. And so who knows? For me, I want this movie to happen because it's going to be so hilariously bad. I want it to happen. Like, I want them to make this movie. I want Disney Star Wars to get so bad to lose them so much money. They have no other choice but to sell Lucasfilm.
I would like that.
Yeah, I would love for that to be the case, but but who knows what's going on over there? It is such a shit show over there, and now apparently, I don't know if we're going to get into more of this later, if you've heard anything on this, DC, but apparently now Phony Baloney is going to be taking over the script and the writing for the Mando movie from Favreau.
Says who?
I think that's a crock of shit.
Yeah, so that's another one floating around out there.
Yeah, but that's not true.
I
mean, I don't know about the Rey movie status. I mean, it's entirely possible that that they're leery of it. I mean, God knows, after 6 years, and I mean, how many years has it been since Russo Soywoker? It's been 6 drafts.
Yeah,
is what I hear. And it was around the time of Russo Soywoker, or a little bit before they released it, where the first draft came. So it's been quite a while and quite a trail of failure. But as far as this Favreau, look, unless Favreau is gone, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I hope not.
StarWars.com mentioned the new Mandalorian movie with Jon Favreau directing, and it said Filoni was working on Ahsoka season 2, and that he's getting some award at the Saturn Awards at the beginning of February.
Who's getting an award?
Filoni.
Phony baloney. Hey, you know what? Who knows? Previously won a Saturn Award, Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah,
Alex Kurtzman. So these fucking Saturn Awards,
Oh wow!
it's not even worth. I mean, the thing's shaped like a rocket. It's not even good for a butt plug. It's absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. I swear to God, if you give an award, a science fiction award to Star Trek Discovery, you are bankrupt, sir. You have failed. Good day to you. It's just done. So yeah, I don't doubt that they're going to give Filoni fucking it was profound.
Best cowboy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say on the bottom of the award.
Well, best cowboy in Hollywood, not on a street corner. Let's just put it that way. Walking the street corner, working the street corner. You know what I mean? Midnight cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. It's absolute. It's a crock of shit, man. They just announced it. They pulled this Mandalorian and Grogu movie out of their fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
There was no previous announcement of it. Favreau is just working on season 4 of Mandalorian, and I've actually got a lead on some other shows he's working on for Disney. But this was like a reaction, clearly, to the bad press that they were getting from the Rey movie, and they wanted to change the conversation. They wanted to change the narrative, right, Nick? That your feeling?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
So they just came up with it, and they're not just gonna then all of a sudden, oh boom, okay, and now we're gonna give it to fucking Filoni. I mean, who's had success? Ahsoka was a big fucking egg that just got laid, a fucking broken egg. You know, I mean, Ahsoka stunk.
Yeah, and they said that it was in development. They did say that it's been greenlit, that it's gonna be that there's been a schedule for shooting to begin. Like none of that. They just said it's in development,
right?
And so I don't even think they should make Ahsoka season 2. Who wants to see that? I mean, I
know somebody that does. Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Douglas has this masochistic streak, Is it a religious thing with you, Douglas? Like, the monks used to whip themselves with cat of nine tails.
Minutes,
What are you atoning for? That's what I want to know.
Look, I just recovered from Echo. Jeez. But wait a minute. What about the Heir to the Empire movie? Why don't he develop that?
Yeah, the culmination to the whole Mandoverse that's supposed to be like, the Infinity War for the MCU. It's gonna, oh man. I mean, when they first started talking about this, especially after this end of season 2 of Mando, I was actually kind of looking forward to what they were going to do with all this and the direction they were going, especially since I was like, wow, well, Luke's back in it. So I guess he's going to be playing a big part now. But now, after what we got from Book of Boba Fett, Mando season 3, Ahsoka, then we got Skeleton Crew and Acolyte coming out, which Skeleton Crew will also take place in that universe with Mando and all that. Man, it is just going down, 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 down to the point to where I'm just like, oh, just put a bunch of trans people in it and gays and whatever you want to do. Just make it as bad as you can possibly make it at this point in time, and just burn the whole thing down, because it's just none of it's good, and I'm losing interest all the time, which is one of the reasons why we switched from being a Star Wars exclusive channel to doing other stuff. But like I said earlier, then you get this kind of news breaking and stuff, and it sucks you right back in.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think really that this movie might be just the last of Favreau. I think he leaves after it. I think this is the last story he wants to tell or try to tell, and then he's gone. And then also, not that I care about Pedro Pascal, but he said he doesn't want to do the TV show anymore. Maybe he'll do a movie or two, and that's about it. That's probably the only way that you can get him. And then in the email that StarWars.com sent today about it, they said that Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's ongoing feature development slate, including films held by Sharman Obaid-Chinoy, James Mangold, and Dave Filoni, who is also currently developing Ahsoka Season 2 among those in the works. So I don't know. It seems to me like everything's still on the table in some form or fashion.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Gizmodo thing came out. StarWarsNewsNet.com released something similar, and Screen Rant also issued a firm denial, just saying that the script was being worked on, but that it's not in trouble or it's not canceled or anything. So I mean, there was a big and very quick backlash about this, so who knows? I mean, but I have my doubts that we're so lucky as to have it be canceled, because I think that Kennedy loyalists are still trying to ramrod it through,
Yeah.
My guess is the thinking is they think, John, can you come give us a hit? So he comes in, does a Mandalorian movie, just does a basic little adventure, cowboy in space, and it does well. And so then they take the money from that and spend it on the Rey movie and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And so they've learned absolutely nothing.
Well, here's the other thing. If you're going to do a feature film about the Mandalorian, what about all those people that haven't watched it on Disney Plus?
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you got lots of people that never watched any of these, that don't have Disney Plus, that never watched any of these shows because they were, behind a paywall on Disney Plus. This movie's going to come out and I'm going to be like, now, what is this? Who is this person? Who are these people?
It's not like you can go down to Best Buy and just go pick it up now.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Right.
If you don't have Disney Plus, you ain't watching it.
But you're right. I mean, essentially, even if this thing makes money, all they're going to do is take the money and make lame, feminist shit with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of akin to selling the husband's bowling trophy and using the money to buy tampons for the wife. That's essentially what this movement, this business model is. I don't know. I kind of think what they ought to do is Star Wars end lame, and what it should be is just put Ahsoka and Rey just sitting in an apartment, any apartment in California, just talking for 2 hours. It's like my dinner with Andre. And it only ends when one of them just actually starts crying from sheer boredom. That's when it ends, and they lose.
That would probably be better than what they're actually going to make, DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be kind of funny, just this Rey and Ahsoka sitting in a fucking apartment, not on a spaceship or a Death Star or anything, just a fucking apartment in California.
Talking about life problems,
Yeah.
boyfriends. Hey, girl, shopping,
Slay
girl
Queen.
stuff. Yeah.
And they just ultimately have to confront just by sheer like boredom, just how hollow and nothing that they are. Like both of their characters, they have nothing to say. They have nothing interesting.
They both
to
break down
contribute.
into uncontrollable tears and the screen fades to black.
Exactly.
Iris in.
Yeah.
Iris in as Rey points the lightsaber right at her own head and her thumb moves to the button, and then it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah. But
So there is that. So essentially, Disney Star Wars is in deep trouble. All of this, lack of clarity with all these rumors and stuff. I think it's basically emblematic of a franchise that's adrift, has nothing going for it, and is flailing around trying to find some reason to go on living.
Yeah.
it's completely gutted. They prop up corpses of the past,
Yes.
like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, stuff like that, and puppeteer them, and that's about it. I mean, Favreau had saved them, and then they betrayed him. He had done the impossible, and then they lightsabered him in the back, and that's that. They sabotaged the whole thing twice. So, like I said, if Favreau pulls out a nice little film, which again is going to struggle because not everybody understands Mandalorian and all that, but nevertheless, he pulls that off. All they'll do is squander those profits on crap.
Yeah. All these movies and all this stuff they're doing are just defibrillators to a dead corpse.
Yeah. Knocking a dead corpse.
Well, I mean, you take even characters that might be remotely interesting, like Boba Fett, and even to some degree, Ahsoka before this show was somewhat of an interesting character, but and then your writing is so flat and so boring. I mean, it was boring. You're not telling a story. You got to tell a story. Give us a story and quit with this crap of trying to have some surprise or leave it to somebody's imagination. No, you got to tell us part of the story. I mean, that was frustrating.
Yeah, they're telling us a story, Robert. It's women are awesome and men suck.
That's
the story.
Basic story. But I mean, they squander every opportunity that they have. I mean, remember a guy named Cad Bane? Remember how he was on the Mandalorian? He's a big figure from the EU. They just got rid of him in one episode. Boom. And he's dead. Ta-da!
Yeah, and supposedly he was not really gonna be dead, and he was actually coming back. But we haven't seen him. We didn't see him in Ahsoka. We didn't see him in Mando season 3. So, they kind of teased it then with a little flash and light on him. But he hasn't come back around. Who knows if he ever will?
No.
It's just there's so many dumb things that they're doing. It just makes you wonder who's running things over there. Obviously not anybody that understands Star Wars or storytelling.
Yeah, and he was a great villain in the Clone Wars, was something they actually did. It was halfway decent. And you could have used that villain for other stuff, He could have been a minion of somebody, I mean,
yes. Well, let's just look. Okay, so Cad Bane, he shows up, big gunfight, gets killed immediately. Okay, so scratch that classic character. Boba Fett, it's like, oh, we have all these years of mystery. Turns out he's just a sad, dumb fuck that likes to lie in a bacta tank in his fucking Speedo all the time. Okay.
And take orders from somebody else that he saved.
Right. So that's great. Okay. And then Black Coruscant Man, right?
Yeah.
Is so he's like a big badass Wookiee bounty hunter who's so badass that single-handedly he can't beat up a old fat bald guy in a Speedo
Yeah.
when he pulls him naked, except for the Speedo, out of his Bacta tank. You know, it used to be, what did Han Solo say? He said, that's because Wookiees don't pull people's arms, out. Droids don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees have been known to do that, but not Black Santan. No, he just treats Boba Fett like a bar of soap
or a
that's
chew
like
toy
slipping out of his grip.
like he's throwing it around like playing fetch with himself,
Yes, he's playing fetch with himself. So it just like this is just beyond incompetent. It's fucking embarrassing as shit.
Yeah, that whole scene, I was just like, what is he doing? Just you had him. You could have just killed him. You're just throwing him around like a chew toy or something, like what's going on here?
He threw him around like Hollywood extra stuntman throws around a star of a show, gingerly, so as not to actually hurt him. I mean, of course, he could have just ripped his arm off. He could have lifted him high over his head and just dashed him on the hard floor. But no.
Or
in other words,
Boba do what Boba Fett would have done and had some kind of gadget that he had to save himself
on his Speedo.
or wherever. But I mean, gosh, you're ruining the characters.
Yeah. Everything they touch dies. And speaking of dying, Mike, I wanted to go to you and ask you what the fuck is going on with this, Peltz proxy thing? Because, on the one hand, I read, well, Disney has rejected the Peltz, nomination and everything. And it's like, well, of course Disney is going to reject it. The thing that I don't understand is Peltz is not an idiot. I mean, surely he didn't count on Disney saying, well, okay, you asked to be on the board. We're going to let you on the board. Of course, Disney's going to reject it. Doesn't he have something else up his sleeve? Or, I mean, I don't get what Peltz's strategy is. If this is the end of the rainbow, or is this just an expected, part of the process? Well, what's going on with it, Mike?
Let me give you, you're asking them what I'll call the $1 million question of the day, but in order to get there, let me just go over a few factoids and then we'll circle back, if that's okay.
Sure, no problem.
Sadly enough, Doomcock, and unpredictable, as shocking as this may be to you, the stock dropped again today, down to $90 a share. 90 to 30. I know, Doomcock. We probably thought it was going to get back to 170 this week. No one thought that.
Oh, but, shit. Does this mean the next dividend's going to be half of the 30 cents? It's going to be 15 cents?
Wow, you just cannot let that go with me.
Well,
wow. The painful memories.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just teasing. So what happened today, 2 days ago, actually, but Disney filed with the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they filed a mandatory public notice. It's a public notice that they have to file with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And what this notice does is it's called a notice of annual meeting and shareholders proxy statement. And what this has in it has a letter from the chairman. It has a letter from our beloved CEO, Bob Iger. And it has certain information that's relevant to, besides just the date of the meeting, things that are coming up, like the proxy battle. Now, I want to highlight a few things that have happened, which you of course have seen in the news. I want to highlight that our chairman, our illustrious chairman, let us know that upon his return, Bob Iger and his leadership team initiate a strategic transformation, Doomcock, of the company to make Disney's businesses more efficient and effective. You know that?
I missed that. I know they fired a lot of people and shit, but
in the cover letter, Doomcock, our illustrious chairman said of Bob Iger, we believe Bob's continued leadership during this crucial period for Disney is invaluable, and we are grateful for his wholehearted devotion to the company's lasting success, which is why the board voted unanimously to extend his contract through the end of 2026. Bob's strong creative instincts and business acumen, enthusiasm for innovation, and understanding of ever-changing global markets have solidified the Walt Disney Company as a world leader in entertainment. How do you feel about that statement?
I think it's a crock of shit.
What?
I think it's a crock of shit. What about all the stock losses? What about all the failed box office proceeds? What about the fact that park attendance is down?
Oh, posh, pew, pew. The letter goes on to read, this is where things get funny to me. Where they basically, there are two things. One is the Disney is composed, they're letting us know, Doomcock, that the Disney board is composed of an engaged, diverse, and dynamic group of leaders.
Uh-huh.
You get the word diverse? Did you pick up on that?
I picked it up. It would be nice if the Disney board was made up of major stockholders.
Right.
But
now, the accompanying notice, the annual meeting of shareholders, and proxy statement described the business to be conducted at the annual meeting of the shareholders. Also included are a white proxy card and postage paid return envelope, white proxy cards that are being solicited on behalf of the board of directors to the Walt Disney Company. Now, mine has not come in the mail, but I did get an electronic notice in my stock portfolio that it's coming. I think that's because this is the draft. Now, the chairman writes, your vote is especially important at this year's meeting, Doomcock.
Uh-huh. Okay.
As you may have seen, Trian Partners and Trian Partners Parallel Fund, wholly owned subsidiaries along with other entities of Nielsen Peltz and former Disney executive Isaac Perlmutter have provided notice of their intent to nominate Nielsen Peltz and James Vasulu for election as its board. And then here in bold, it says, your board, Doomcock, your board does not endorse.
We are bored, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, not by you, by their entertainment output. Go.
Oh, your board does not endorse the Trian Group nominees, the Trian Group proposal, the Blackwell's Group nominees, or the Blackwell's Group proposal, which we discussed on this show 2 weeks ago. And we unanimously recommend that you Mexican Iron Man, vote for the election of 12 nominees proposed by your board. Vote for the other proposals recommended by your board and against the Trian Group proposal, against the Blackwell's Group proposal, and against any other proposals made by shareholders. All right. Now, then we got Bob. I'll just two quick statements from Bob. Bob wants to let you know, Doomcock, that over the past year, we have made significant progress to strategically realign the Walt Disney Company for growth and shareholder value.
Wow. I don't see any evidence of it, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, and Bob, I like this line right here. Bob says, I'm immensely proud of the irrefutable progress. Don't you disagree with him, Doomcock?
Okay.
We've made transforming Disney for the future, and I'm committed to finishing the job so this company is strongly positioned when my successor takes the helm. Now, he copy and paste this thing here, and he says, I join with all my fellow board members in not endorsing the Trian Group nominees or the Trian Group proposal, nor the Blackwell Group nominee, nor the Blackwell Group proposal. And I'm recommending they use the white proxy card to vote for the election of the 12 nominees. And I just think it's funny because they bold, underscore, underline and bold, white. Because that way, if there's any other card colors, I just think it's funny. Like Disney's all about diversity. It's all about white. white.
We don't want any differently colored cards coming in. Okay.
I'll point out three other quick things, and then we can get to the discussion of what all of this means. The last three little factoids. I'm not going to quote this so much, but I think I found. Of course, we have the director nominees, photos, resumes of all these, you got your diversity, we got a couple of more people we're going to throw on, 12 people that have either already been there and are lackeys, and some more people that they're going to add on who are going to be more lackeys, such as the Morgan Stanley guy right here, this guy. Yeah, isn't that funny? His firm got paid a ton of fees recently by these guys. Anyway, so the quick factoids have to do with something that I found in here related to Chapek and two other quick things. One of the proposals that your board, Doomcock, should I say our Disney board?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Our Disney board has is letting us know that in the compensation chart, I found something pretty interesting, which when I scrolled down, I found our good buddy, where is he? Where's Chapek in here? I found our good buddy Chapek here listed here that he has vesting in the next couple months. Where is it? 400 and where is it? Gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this quickly. It's a really big report. It's like 50 pages long. Okay, I'm almost there. Here we go. I think I found out why we haven't heard much from him.
Okay.
And that is because, shoot. Anyways, I can't find the page, but he has 447,000 shares of stock that are vesting that he has to exercise in less than 60 days.
Wow.
Okay, take 447,000 shares of stock and multiply that by, I don't know what, 80, 90 bucks a share?
Uh-huh.
There he is. Back there.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Right,
That's his
okay,
pension benefits
yeah.
table. That's his
Okay.
pension benefits. So he's got $14 million, $14 million in pension benefits sitting around, but that's in addition to the stock table. He's got a shitload of stock on table that he can exercise, which are in the form of stock options. So that could be a good reason why we have not heard from him at all, Doomcock. Because I've been wondering why we haven't heard from this guy.
Uh-huh.
Now, so that's number one. Number two, the other thing I'm going to tell you is that, shockingly enough, one of the proposals by is number 2, ratification and appointment of independent registered public accountants. The audit committee has concluded that the continued retention of PricewaterhouseCoopers is in the best interest of the shareholders, Doomcock.
Oh, of
Now,
course.
Guess how long this company has been, these accounts have been doing the books?
I don't know.
1938.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is that if you want to hide shit, then that's what you
got to keep them. Yeah.
You got to keep them. You can't let it. I mean, it would be like, can you imagine if Disney let me and some guys I hired in there?
Oh man.
I don't
think
think
we'd
we'd
uncover
agree with
things they don't want seen.
Exactly. Anyway, so let me go ahead and stop the screen share and tell you what I see when I look at this. So what they've done is they basically said, here's what they've done. Number 1, we have our slate that we want to affirm the people that are already on the board. The ones that we have, we are rejecting anybody and everybody else. We are telling everybody that they need to vote in accordance with what the board wants, which is what Iger wants and what Iger's lackeys, including the new, chairman of the board, does. And one of the things that I saw, I can't find it on the table, but there was a disclosure for who owns more than 5% of the stock. And what we know is that BlackRock and Vanguard have 8 and 6% of the stock locked up right now because they have to disclose who has more than 5% of it. And so we are dealing with a very, 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 very uphill battle here if he wants to get this done. I am sure that right now with this SEC disclosure that Nelson Peltz and his team are dissecting this left and right, and they are literally going to have to do what you talked about. I think it was on the show 3 or 4 weeks ago, which is that take it to the people like me, that, someone like me that's going to take this and ignore them and tell them to go F themselves because I'm not going to vote for any of this. Now, I have such minuscule amount of stock that I inherited that my vote doesn't matter. But what's going to have to happen is Nelson's going to have to get enough people that it does matter. Now, I'm going to answer the question that you asked earlier, which is that when someone does a proxy fight, do they expect to win? And we can look at this in two lenses. One lens is Nelson going to get his 2 board seats elected? Right now, it looks like that is incredibly not likely to occur. Right now, it does. So with that realization, though, you try to do these proxy battles so that you at least get an openness from the board that they decide that they're going to effect change. And that change usually will result in 1 or 2 or 3 board members when these types of proxy fights happen. What's happened here with Disney is that Bob has basically said, F you, Nelson Peltz, F all your nominees, F Perlmutter, because by the way, Perlmutter's name was mentioned in this document specifically.
Yeah, I saw it.
You see that?
Yeah.
And so they're basically circling. Iger is circling the wagons and telling everybody to go F off. And in fact, by putting more people on the board and reaffirming the board he already has, he's basically trying to ensure that he can do whatever the hell he wants for the next 3 to 4 years, going into the end of 2026 or longer. Who knows what he wants to do? So this is very disheartening that obviously all of Peltz's moves have fallen on deaf ears. Bob Iger doesn't care. He's also a liar because he just said, we covered it on the show, Doomcock, that where he said, oh, when he was asked the question of like, have you talked to Nelson Peltz? Oh, I don't know what he wants. Well, this disclosure sure as hell makes it seem like he has an idea of what Nelson wants.
Uh-huh.
And Disney and the board don't want to give him an inch. So I sit back and I look at this, and part of me has to sit back and wonder if this company has no hope of fixing itself, because if Nielsen if he can get 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 12 people on the board, that is the hope for change that we need, because he can put one person on an audit committee, another person on compensation, and we can start to get some things changing down the financial, trickle down from the finance side. But if they're going to wholesale rebut him and basically exclude him and knock him out, then we may just have to sit back and do what we've done basically with Star Trek and with Star Wars and to an extent Marvel, and watch it all burn to the ground.
Unbelievable.
It is a sad time.
But what was Peltz's plan, I wonder?
Well, I think his plan was what I said. His plan was, I'm going to get a critical mass of people together. I'm going to get a significant block that maybe isn't more than 5% of the outstanding stock, but between what he and I promoted, I mean, dude, it's like you've talked about it in your show, and I've seen it in your videos. I mean, when you talk about with them, they've got $3 billion worth of stock. I mean, the market cap of this company, $3 billion is incredibly significant in terms of valuation. And so normally when these proxy fights happen, when you are an executive, you understand that, hey, I work for the board and the board works for the shareholders. Well, that's not what's happened here. Bob has flipped this thing around where he's essentially Caesar, and he's got these board of directors that are yes people to the CEO, and the shareholders like me, we're left out in the dust because no one gives a shit what we really think. A lot like how they handle Marvel, a lot like how they handle Star Wars, a lot like they've handled everything else that they've touched, like Fox. They don't care what we think or what we want. We, in this case, now aren't even the fans of Star Wars, Marvel, or anything else. We now are the shareholders, and no one cares what we want or what we need. And that's just particularly evidenced by the fact that not more than 30 to 45 days ago, I got a notice I was getting a 30-cent dividend. So that basically told Mexican Iron Man that he and his sombrero of hope are going to remain empty, and there are not going to be any dividends or dollars coming in the sombrero of hope for Disney.
Hey, Mexican Iron Man, one other quick question for you. In the filing, I didn't get a chance to look at it, but did it tell you with their nominations how many shares that they hold of Disney at all?
That's in here somewhere. I took it down.
That's okay. I mean, but I mean,
my point being is most of them don't hold a whole lot of shares of Disney, so they don't have skin in the game, and that's always a concern.
Yeah. I mean, I think Doomcock covered that in a video a month ago. Doomcock 2 months ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But we, Doomcock, one of his videos, he talked about that. I don't know if I was on that one or not, but I know like the sum total of all of it are like in the millions. They're not in the billions.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
It is.
I mean, Peltz has control of much more stock than the rest of the whole board combined.
Yeah.
At this point, because they sold off their shit, right? Because they know the fucking ship is sinking, right?
Right. By the way, 7 out of 12. The average board tenure is 6 years. I mean, so all of these people are Iger acolytes, just so you know.
Unbelievable.
So what's the stock going to look like come December?
Look, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Then there's this talk of this ESPN NFL deal. I mean, they're throwing everything at the kitchen sink. This company is, I cannot wait to get my hands on the financial report. We are literally not that far away. February 7th is going to be the next earnings call. And when that thing's released, I'm going to slice and dice and dissect it for your show, Doomcock. So they can see what's really going on with their balance sheet, because they closed the books and this is their first quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to see, what fiscal condition they're in. I think they're hiding a lot. And I think a lot of these losses that they had from these movies, they're going to have to be reported in this first quarter.
Well, and ESPN is probably bringing in a bunch of money for them, but ESPN, the deal that you're talking about is actually college football, and it's $1.6 billion, I think, is the deal that they're trying to do to lock up the college football playoff for the next 6 years, starting in 2026. when the current contract expires.
Actually, Robert, in addition to that, there also are talks about the NFL.
Oh, really? The NFL as well?
With ESPN. That's in addition to that deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
but I mean,
So I'm going to respond to someone that mentioned something in chat, and I can't see who it is because it went by so fast. But Doomcock, what is likely to happen, I think, is that there will be. You remember remember how pissed off the shareholders were last year?
Yeah.
I think what will happen is that because essentially Bob's drawing a line in the sand. If I were Peltz and people like me, now we're maybe at the point where if the Disney continues to give lackluster results, the stock price sucks, the dividends suck, and losses and failure continues to occur. Now we're talking shareholder lawsuit, and now it gets real.
Well, Jesus, how much do they have to lose though? I mean, the stock is sitting at about what, 50% of what it was or something?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's my point. My point is that by more time going by, then that further builds the case that this company that there's executive, that from a stewardship standpoint, that there's malfeasance and lack of implementation, and that's when the shareholders start to, that's hopefully, and I would hope that what Nielsen will do is then lead a shareholder class action lawsuit in which people like me all over the place can join up and sign up, and that will be a certainly a make Disney great again type moment.
well, it may be beyond the realm of possibility, but
I mean, honest to God, I wish at the final hour we would get like almost like baseball, like when we go in the World Series or before the playoffs, we get these last minute trades. Man, I would love nothing more than George Lucas and Elon Musk all of a sudden bringing billions of dollars to the table, and that would change the whole equation.
That'd be
heartbeat.
Awesome.
yeah.
Boom. Literally just take their stock and just plop it on the table and and say, no, we're aligning with Nielsen Peltz, and we're going to save this company and the IPs that it's bought on credit.
Yeah, that's great. Wouldn't that be
great? I would love
guys?
it if those two guys did that.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that happening. I'm all on board.
That would be incredible.
But in the meantime, they've decided hey, we've had a terrible year last year. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
How many more of these years can they take?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Why are people not buying into our crap?
Because it's crap.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I think Disney is fucked. I mean, I think this was Peltz's last hope, but I think investors should ask themselves, why is Disney so damn hell-bent on not making profits? Because that's what Peltz wants is profit. I thought that would have mattered, but Disney apparently is allergic to the idea of profit.
Yeah.
They just want their agenda out there, and that's all they want.
People want to be, I've said this a lot of times, that Disney has become a Hollywood company, not a theme park profit company. And these Hollywood people are the one thing that they have in common, which frankly is a lot like, I'm not going to, not you specifically, but entertainers, YouTubers, Hollywood studio people, creative people, and certainly political people that are creative people. They want to be right, and they're not driven by profit. They're driven by, like you just said, Doomcock, they're driven by, that political ideology. And people, and they want to be right about that political ideology, which you cover on this channel so well. And they care more about being right about their political ideology and forcing us to shove it down our throats that it is right, than they will ever care about profit. They would rather be right and lose money than make money and look like they were wrong. And that's sad.
Well, I guess that's I don't have any money invested in Disney, so I guess it's no skin off my nose. But I would think the investors ought to start waking up and smelling the losses, But oh well, I think we should go ahead and go to some super chats. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, folks, let's go ahead and do this. Green Hat with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Green Hat says, She-Hulk brought me to you. Its cancellation means that you are now one of the very few Disney and or Marvel villains who have never been defeated. Also, Bob Iger just gave himself a raise. Yeah, he's making like what, $31 million or something like that a year.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets a raise while the company loses money.
Bob
Sure.
gets
Perfect
31 million. I got 33 cents. Awesome.
Well, you know, not everyone can be as exalted as Bob Iger. Yeah. Well, Green Hat, that's a good point. And I guess in Hollywood, you fail upwards. That's the way it is. That's the way it always has been, I guess. Thank you, Green Hat. Mr. Eagle Flying with a $10 super chat and a $15 super chat, 2 in a row. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Eagle Flying, and hail to you, sir. He says, best movie of 2023 will be out for 1 week on the 26th of January. Godzilla -1 minus color. What? They're gonna make it black and white?
Wait, when?
He said on for 1 week, 26th of January, Godzilla -1 minus color.
Yeah. They're going back to, and this isn't just a black and white filter that they're doing for Godzilla -1. They're like recutting the whole film in black and white. So it's not like they're just doing like a black and white filter on it. Like they're actually making it a black and white film and just kind of giving homage to the old school Godzilla movies. So yeah, and when they release it on physical media, when you get like the deluxe edition or whatever, that version will be on there. So I'm definitely looking forward to the 4K like deluxe edition of the physical media, that with the black and white version.
Wow. Going back to the original Gojira, which was in black and white.
Yep.
Wow. So if you missed out on the chance to see it in theaters, folks, you should go ahead and check it out, because it was definitely the best movie of 2023.
Yeah. They're only doing that in Japan, though, that black and white version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only in Japan. But we'll get it on the physical media when it releases. If it does really well, who knows? They could put that version out over here if they think it'll do well. But who knows? As of right now, it's only going to show in Japan, though.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hollywood Reporter has an article that says will be in Japan on January 12th and will reach the U.S. theaters on January 26th for the limited run.
Oh, so they are bringing it over here. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, because originally it was going to be Japan only. So I guess they did actually end up deciding to bring it over here. Awesome.
Well, good. I guess I'll have to go out there and check it out, because holy shit, man. It was awesome. See it in a big screen with a great sound system, and it will really make an impression, folks.
IMAX for sure, if you can.
Yeah. And Mr. Eagle Flying also adds, just so it adds up to $25, the 2 super chats. He says, the good news is they gave me aerosol steroids for my lungs. The bad news is my lungs now want to move to California and be Governor Arnie. Because of the steroids. I get it, Mr. Eagle Flying. I get it. Well, thank you, sir, for the super chat and for the good news about Godzilla -1 minus color. Holy shit. That is super damn cool. And Sigvaldason gifted 5 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. Yay, way to go, Sigvaldason. Hail to the great Sigvaldason, the high priest of the cult of Harvey. He really loves Harvard J. Cthulhu. So what are you gonna do? I gotta tip my hat to Sigvaldason. He's a crazy maniac who wants Harvey set free, but what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Evan Peterson with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Evan says, I've watched this movie over and over. I want to recruit that rabbit to use against Harvey. You mean what movie, Evan? Are you talking about Roger Rabbit? Are you talking about the movie called Harvey? What movie are you speaking about, Evan? Clarify that in the chat, would you? Thank you, buddy. Nathan Robinson with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Nathan says, hail DC and the wonderful panel and chat. Hail to you, the great Nathan Robinson. And the Ginger Menace is here with a $2 super sticker. Bushiba giving a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Ginger Menace, Mary Ashmead, the Queen of the Wrenches, is here tonight, folks. Thank you so much, Ginger Menace. You are awesome. Jesus H. Christ with a 50 Mexican dollar super chat. Thank you, Jesus H. Christ, who says, go 49ers and screw the Cowgirls.
Woohoo!
Cowgirls now, is it? Oh, dear. Poor Dak Prescott.
Thank you for your support.
Tony Bennett left his heart in San Francisco, but Dak Prescott left his balls on the field in the Dallas Stadium. Apparently, it was a drubbing, folks. It was a drubbing. I don't know. We may not have a lot of football fans here, but holy shit!
Every time he gets the playoffs, he chokes like that. It's like all season long he'll be doing great, and then come playoff time, a big moment, and he completely falls apart. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I think I need to start a new hashtag. Hashtag, okay, here we blow. And just start sending that to Dak Prescott. See what happens. It'd be hilarious. Scott V with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Scott. Says, hail DC and panel. New Star Trek prequel movie coming? Say it ain't so. Please, DC, let Harvey out to destroy the world to save us from this crap. Live long and prosper. Well, Scott, according to one of my Hollywood spies, the one who regularly sends me Star Trek updates, all of this Star Trek prequel movie nonsense is exactly that, nonsense. What it is, once again, is a marketing pitch. They're desperately trying to raise funds. Remember all of the fake announcements that Secret Hideout and Bad Robot have made year after year after year. This is one of them. So don't worry about it. This is not real. This is just trying to find the last few investors out there stupid enough to actually throw money at Jar Jar Abrams or Alex Kurtzman. This is not a legitimate thing that's going to happen. At least that's what I've heard, folks. That's what I've heard. Stained Revenant with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Stained Revenant. Says, here's another old Sith proverb concerning the method of Rey's demise via lightsaber. To ensure no future situation, opt instead for decapitation. Yes, I know. Because now it's not good enough to run people through with a lightsaber. If you pull it straight out, then they just, have a mild cough for a few days and then they're right as fucking rain. My thing was, stab them and then pull it out sideways or up to, maximally cut the, recipient of this amazing gift, so that there's no more Reva where she gets run through and she's just perfectly Jim fucking dandy, the next day, Christ almighty. How many people have broken a leg and they're fucked up for 6 weeks, but you can run through with a, basically white hot fucking laser, the size of your fucking fist and you walk it off, cowboy. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Thank you for that, Stained Revenant. Good advice. Very good advice. Tycho TMA1. It's been a channel member of mine at Dumentite for 29 months now. Thank you, Tycho, and says, hail, DC. Before my Earth base was moved to Florida, it used to be in Wisconsin. Go, Pack, go. Well, see, got another Packers fan here. You and I have that in common, Tycho TMA1. That's outstanding. Thank you for that. And Hecate's daughter has been a channel member of mine at Dumentite for 48 months now. Thank you, Hecate's daughter. Says, Mexican Iron Man, I want you to know that all my family were 49er fans. My son has 6 kids with significant others included. Go Niners. Also, hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. So you've got backing, Mike. Backing. A long string of people who love the 49ers. So there you go. Woohoo. I remember when Steve Young got knocked out one time during, I think it was a practice, and he can't, like, when he regained consciousness, they were testing him for, like, concussion or whatever, brain damage. And they asked him, "Who are you? Do you know who you are?" And he said, "I'm Batman." True story. So I don't know. I don't know if he's really Batman or not. Go Steve Young. Michael Beacom with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Michael Beacom says, truly sports ignorance is bliss. So Michael Beacom is above the fray. Gary is the same way. He doesn't care at all for football, so he just stays out of it. Me, I've got the addiction. I do love a good football game. Saul Schimek, who has been an arch villain of mine for 49 months now. Thank you, Saul. Saul says tonight's recommendation, the Ring of Fire series by Eric Flint. Go figure. A Ring of Fire series would be by a guy named Flint. Anyway, he says a town from West Virginia gets transported to 1632 in the middle of the 30 Years' War, a long-running but well-supported series worth a look. Wow. Is it, Johnny Cash's Burning Ring of Fire, Saul Schimek? Is that what he was talking about? I don't know anything about this series, but thank you for, exposing us to different things, and thanks a lot. R.I.P. Bad Wolf with a $5 super chat, and a very special one, folks. Hail to R.I.P. Bad Wolf, who says, today is my 40th birthday. It definitely does not feel that way. Love the pop culture breakdown. Happy birthday to you, R.I.P. Bad Wolf. Yay! Happy birthday. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, brother. Everyone put a B in the chat for Bad Wolf. R.I.P. Bad Wolf, just to wish him a very happy birthday, or even R.I.P.B. or a B or something along those lines, or a BW for Bad Wolf. He'll know what it's for. Happy birthday, my friend. Come on by Friday Night Frolics. We'll go ahead and sing you a belated happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, R.I.P. Bad Wolf. Happy birthday to you, and many more. Hail, R.I.P. Bad Wolf. God bless you, brother. I hope it's a good one. Jake Martin is a new channel member at the Dominion level. Thank you very much, Jake Martin, and God bless you, my friend. Hail to you. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the show. We've got Andy Masterson here. Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Hi, guys. How is
everybody? Good to see you, man.
Hopefully everybody's a little bit warmer than me.
Yeah, it's nasty, man. It's nasty. I've been embroiled in like temperatures in the teens and shit. I mean, it's been bad. But go ahead. I know some of you have been waiting to give Andy some shit, so go for it.
Cry, Eagles, cry.
I hope
cry,
Baltimore
Eagles, cry.
I hope Baltimore kicks your ass. Again.
Andy, you had one job. Win one game in the last couple months. One game in the playoffs. You had one job and you didn't get her done.
Yeah, well, I'll blame my nephew. He's their cook. He's their chef.
Well, who sucked worse, Philadelphia or Dallas?
Ooh.
Yeesh.
I think we're both in the same boat. I think we're equally bad.
I don't know. And Orthodox Review says, thanks for not reading my super chat. Well, I haven't gotten to it yet, my friend, but we definitely will on the next break. Sorry about that. I go in order. All right, let's talk about a disgusting insult, folks. Let's talk about a disgusting insult. This time it's not Disney. This time it's actually Star Trek. I'm going to go ahead and pull up an image here real quick if I can get to it here. This is really disgusting, folks. I just want to go ahead and share this screen with you for a second. William Shatner tweeted this thing out, and I really wanted to highlight this because it really disgusts me to no end. This, as a longtime fan of Star Trek and Captain Kirk in particular, this just goes to show you how deep the fucking agenda runs in Hollywood, in all the studios here. William Shatner tweeted this out. Somebody had pointed out to him that a graphic that Paramount was using to advertise, Star Trek on Paramount Plus, excluded. Well, who's missing from here? We got Archer and Spock, and standing behind Uhura, of course. We got Mikey Spock, the bestest ever, and we got Captain Puke, and we got Captain Puke Hard. Then we got some animated bitch, Maki Spock and Mikey Spock, and some, I don't know what the fuck this is. And Janeway, look, it's just like a goddamn, fucking woke nightmare here. And the real characters are shoved to the edge. The great Captain Sisko over here, 7 of 9. They even covered up her cat suit. Where's William Shatner? No William Shatner. No fucking Captain Kirk. No goddamn William Shatner on the Star Trek Day advertisement. He's talking about, has anyone at Paramount come out with an official explanation for this massive flub? And that was a previous graphic that I don't have right here. It doesn't matter, though. It was similar to this, different poses and stuff, but essentially no Kirk. No Kirk. Out of all these fucking characters, look at this stupid bitch Maki Spock here. Just a smart ass piece of shit on a like lowest deck cartoon. And they merit a spot, but not Captain Kirk. You got this fucking traitor here who absolutely pissed and shit all over the goddamn Next Generation franchise with his puke hard, 1, 2, and 3. I mean, it just every fucking season was a goddamn disgrace. Just look at this fucking shit. No mention of William Shatner. And Shatner says here, it's not the first time. It's been going on for years. It makes no difference to me that a group who think that they are enlightened or whatever they think they are obviously feels threatened by the Kirk character. It's a character from a 1960s TV show. Get over it. But they don't get over it. And I just want to know, why does Paramount hate Captain Kirk? Why does Paramount hate Captain Kirk? Probably because we fans love him, and they hate Star Trek fans. The worst people in the world that be doing Star Trek are these dumb fucks right here that absolutely have a loathing of Star Trek. They hate Star Trek fans. They hate Captain Kirk. They hate everything that was good about Gene Roddenberry's optimistic, bright vision of the future. Look at the old Star Treks. Colorful, beautiful, optimistic, bright. And then you look at Kurtzman Trek. It's like the first step of filming a Kurtzman Trek series is to go ahead and smear your lens with a thin coating of shit just to make everything look dim, brown, and muted. And then proceed from there. Go ahead and pluck out eyeballs, have severed baby heads, have, F-bombs and, sonar in space and tribbles being eaten by kids. Go fuck yourselves, you pieces of shit. This is the state of Star Trek right here, and this is why it's fucking dead. Mike, you want to say anything about this? Because I know you love Captain Kirk as much as I love Captain Kirk.
Say I love, you're 100%, DC. I was it's an incredible outrage and insult. I saw the tweets as they were happening live. Of course, for those everybody knows me in Xanadu, literally Captain Kirk was my TV dad. I did not have a dad growing up. I was a latchkey kid. Mom worked 2, sometimes 3 shifts. And I never saw her. So a regular ritual for me and a comfort for me was seeing Star Trek. I mean, obviously I wasn't old enough to see when it first came out, but seeing these reruns that would play in my local TV station, and they would be in the afternoon and then again late at night in the Bay Area. And I dreamed, I told myself that I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be brave. And I said, if I had a dad, I hoped he would be like that. And if I ever became a dad, I wanted to become like him. Now, I want to be responsible for other people. I want to take care of other people. I want to help other people. I want to feel a sense of purpose. I also love that Captain Kirk never gave up. No such thing as, like whenever, in the face of adversity, there was always away. I certainly was old enough to watch the movies when they came out, that he was in, and I don't know. I'm glad he's still around. I got to tell you this much: the week that when he does finally pass away, that Wednesday show, when I come on this show with you, is going to be a tough day for me because
I know, man.
I don't know him. I've never met him. I've never shaken his hand, but I have seen every TV series that he was in, every movie. And I'll start with that love for this character, Captain Kirk. Now, some would argue that Mexican Iron Man probably took too many lessons from Captain Kirk when it came to women in his dating life.
Yeah, I hear you.
But he without him, there is no series. Without him, there are no movies. Without him, there's no franchise and there's no IP that has value. And for them to completely and totally neglect, wash away, ignore, disgrace, and literally erase the greatest captain and character from this entire IP is an outrage. And these weirdo wackos show how delusional they are and think that they can bring anything to the table. You can take the entire body of work of all these people on that poster, and it does not equal a fraction of the importance that William Shatner and this character have had in science fiction. So it's an outrage. I see right through what they've done, and God bless William Shatner for calling it like he sees it and not bending the knee to these woke bastards.
That's right. The thing that started this out was this guy, Herr Wunderlich, asked to William Shatner, but will you ever see Captain Kirk again? And he said, all you have to do is look at the Paramount Plus graphics to answer that question. And look, here we go again. This is the one that started that. You got Maki Spock. Look at this twisted, fucking disgusting, like pizza cutter thing that they've got pretending to be a starship. You got Captain Puke here, the galloping gourmet. In his fucking, he cooks in his fucking goddamn, quarters, his cavernous quarters with his roaring fireplace and shit. Look at this Maki Spock, this obnoxious pig that's just basically like an animated version of Mikey Spock, whose main function in life is to be a smart ass insulting the rest of the crew, especially the white males. Spock stuck over here in the back, basically, putting lie to the whole concept of infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Any Vulcan who said that didn't see this shit right here. You got Janeway. Look at way back there.
So you can't even hardly tell that's Cisco.
I know.
Other than a bald head.
Right. You got Jordan.
You
back
can barely
there.
see Archer either up in the back.
Yeah. Look at that. He quantum jumped into the wrong character there.
Dude, my immediate thought on all this with Paramount is towards the end of Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, when Kirk is fighting the Klingon commander, and the Klingon commander is grabbing hold of his leg off the cliff, and Kirk kicks him and says, I have had about enough of you, and kicks him over the edge. That's my thoughts on this.
It makes me fucking sick. This is just, it is a glaring omission. There is no William Shatner on any of their materials. No Captain Kirk. Nothing. What does that tell you, folks?
Does Picard got a jean jacket on?
I don't know. It's such a, I can't even look at Patrick Stewart anymore. I can't even look at that piece of shit anymore. They've ruined the next generation for me,
If there were cultural crimes, Paramount would definitely be going to prison for this. It's an absolute disgrace. How can you not have the one character that started this whole franchise, who had the biggest part of this entire franchise in the history, even still to this day? And he's not even included on something like this.
Dude, they got Spock in the shade. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's Spock Boyega.
it makes me sick. And look at Mikey Spock there. Jesus Christ. You know?
Fucking trash.
It is fucking trash.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of wooden statue in a fucking drugstore holding some cigars. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Garbage. Fuck these people.
Yeah, it makes me physically ill.
Yeah.
Well, look at it this way. Captain Kirk doesn't belong on that poster because this isn't Star Trek.
Yeah, none of this is Star Trek. You're absolutely right.
Really, the Nimoy estate should sue to have Spock taken off.
Really?
Because they're insulting him. So
they should. You're absolutely correct. And they shouldn't use that font. I think the font has grounds for a lawsuit. That is not Star Trek right there.
Clearly, it's time for a woman to be in charge of Star Trek. That's so well for Star Wars.
Someday, Andy, if only.
Yeah.
I'm making the Star Trek fans uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, someone beat you to it.
Yeah. Oh God, and the depth of stupidity. It's just goddamn. It makes me sick, and I can't believe anybody fell for the con game of Picard season 3. God, what a pile of fucking shit! I swear to God, it's just every bit as fucking stupid as all the bullshit new Trek that went before it.
Well, I would argue that it's stupid with one other caveat, and the caveat is that oh shit, what was his name? Terry, what's his face?
Metalis.
Oh, Metalis.
Yeah, that dipshit. Before anyone hands him Star Trek again, someone needs to give him a credit card, and he needs to go to Home Depot and get some light bulbs before he starts filming next time.
Yeah,
It was so dark.
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, but they had to turn the lights off. They had to keep the lights off because otherwise you would have seen the duct tape. So that's why.
Yeah, and it's much easier.
And you would have seen Metalis too.
Yeah,
that's no pretty sight.
Well, it just goes to show don't watch a show just because of member berries. Member berries may be great for one scene, but look at the entire show and judge it by the current story, not by the small little member berries that it gives you, because that's just to try and suck you in.
Well, I got breaking news. The latest thing is they're going to do another Trek movie, and it's the prequel to the prequels.
Yeah, no, I don't. That is not true. I mean, that's a funding pitch. I mean, unless they it's not real.
I mean, the Ray movie's more likely.
Yeah, the Ray movie is more likely.
Yeah, but still, it says, "Hey guys."
They don't want Jar Jar
Another
Abrams
prequel.
touching Star Trek anymore. I mean, they really don't. I'm talking to Paramount and CBS.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're pissed off. They're sick of this shit. They know that this is the goddamn disgrace, but contractually they just have to keep doing it. I guess I don't know, but this is so fucking sickening that I just had to bring it up here. I just had to bring it up here and get you guys to kind of talk me down on this shit, because
we're with you, brother.
This is
bring it up like bad
Nothing to be
Taco Bell.
talked down from. This is an outrage. This is ridiculous. This is everything you warned us against years ago when you started this channel, that they would change and manipulate, all the destruction that Discovery was doing. This is full circle. The nastiness that you called out, that you saw it in the first couple episodes. I remember those videos you did way back when, which is what brought me to you eventually as a fan of your channel. And you knew then, and it's true now. They've gone in the wrong direction, and they've gone right. They've driven this car right off a ledge.
They really have, and I just don't think it can ever recover. I really don't.
Not under the people currently running it, just like Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. The only hope for Disney Star Wars is drop the Disney part.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I don't think they're going to do that. So I don't know what to say, folks. This is it sickens me, because I grew up loving Star Trek. I grew up loving Star Wars. To see both of them brought so low is absolutely disgusting in a way that every fan, I think, knows in his own way. Whether he feels the same way about Star Trek or not, he feels the same way about something, and odds are that something has been, mutilated over the past like 6 years or however long woke has been going. Basically, like since Ghostbusters 2016, you know. What a sickening sight. So let's talk about something quality. Let's talk about Echo.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, let's kick off that discussion.
I see what you did.
Oh dear, oh dear. Now Douglas Nelson has once again strapped himself into the front of the test car, and they put up a wall of Echo in front of him, and he smashed into it head first. What do you have to report about Echo?
It's everything you dreamed it would be. Well, the best I can say is it's not as bad as She-Hulk.
Really? Because I heard that She-Hulk made Echo look like Shakespeare. That's what was told to me by. I mean, they were saying that like what you need to do is see the fight between Daredevil and Echo in high definition, because then you can see that they're clearly missing each other by a good foot, and yet acting like it's like watching kids on a playground. You know?
Yeah, I did. Daredevil just felt sorry for her, you know. So he let her get a few little girl punches in. He didn't feel any of them, you know. Plus, you could tell they were saying, they were trying to mimic the all-in-one shot technique that they used in the Netflix show, but it wasn't. You could tell where it was edited and whatnot. Plus, there's scenes where Daredevil was CGI'd when he jumps up off the floor, and it's like suddenly his legs almost disappear. Stuff like that.
It's kind of a trend in the show.
Yes. Oh, how dare you, Daredevil? That's not funny. And then he drops a shelf that they're in that warehouse, and there's weapons everywhere, but she only uses one of them. And he drops the whole shelf on her, and then she gets out of that, and he's gone. So then they cut to Kingpin. You know, he's like, "You're the only one who could withstand him," and I'm like, "He left." I mean, that's all that happened. I don't know, but anyway. It had a lot of stupid to it, for a woman who's never acted before. Some scenes she did all right, but there was terrible editing in it. There was stuff like that. Plus, the whole thing of this, like, I'm guessing she's supposed to be the hero here. I was in the first or second episode, I can't remember. She murders a whole warehouse full of people. She blows them to bits. And I mean, okay, they worked for Kingpin, like she does. And all this, and it's a warehouse. Some of those poor bastards don't know who they're working for, and she just blows them all to bits.
Yeah, but you know who they voted for? They deserved it.
So the only interesting character was Kingpin himself, because he's Kingpin, but the storyline, it's a warped father-daughter story. Raised by the man who killed her father, but then again, her father was a crook. Oh, and we took him down a peg because he was a scummy criminal. Women are everything, even when they're evil. The men are stupid or evil or both. And then the Choctaw lore, we get some of that, which explains her magic superpowers, which they don't really explain. And
use that mud girl power.
Yeah. Yes. And which the original story, she was from the Cheyenne tribe. Not that, I don't know why they changed it. But anyway, and the original story is much better. The original story is she was Daredevil's girlfriend. They had a romance, or she was dating Matt Murdock, and the Kingpin was manipulating the whole thing to get back at Matt Murdock and all that, and so on and so forth. And they detailed it to where she figured out that he was blind and she could drown him with sound and take him where he's helpless, and that's how she beats him. You explained how do you beat Daredevil, when they don't do any of the explanations of how she's taking on these guys who are twice her size and all that sort of stuff. and her superpower is such that it is. I don't know what it does, whatever. By the end, she's literally reading the Kingpin's mind and changing his attitude. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Dealing with his childhood trauma of his father who beat his mother, and he ends up killing his father.
How is this wait a minute. So you're saying you watched the entire series?
Yes.
And you don't actually know what her fucking superpowers are?
It's some Choctaw mysticism that she inherited from, because all the women have it.
Right. And it's like basically by the end of the series, Doomcock, she then is like the perfect embodiment of all of the mystical power.
Right.
Like, and she's like,
she's like all the Jedi.
Well, okay, kind of. I was about to say it's like she's the alpha, the omega. I mean, it's kind of like that, because what happens is that when the series starts, you see this mysticism kind of thing happening, and then by the time, the idea is that by the time the series ends, you realize that she is now like has all of the inherited super sentient strengths, whether it means working with her mind or whether it's physicality, whatever it is. She's almost like a mystical, perfect being incarnate in her, Native American hand sign languaging, not hearing, one-legged self.
Does she have the power all the time or just once a month?
I'm trying to do a serious review here, Andy.
He's trying
to be the plot.
It's a legitimate question.
Yeah, it kind of is.
After the Amelia Clark thing, you know.
Yeah, I know. Wow, that's true. Yeah.
So now she reaches into like Kingpin's mind and heals him and fills him with
a blubbering mess at the end. Like,
oh God!
Come on, Doomcock. He's, we can't have a Marvel episode without recognizing that villains are flawed and men are weak, and basically the vibe you get is she's almost like a superhero Native American Choctaw therapist. I mean, Douglas, would you kind of not? I mean, almost.
Yeah, that's kind of what she did.
Yeah.
To deal with his childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And of course, his problem was his father. And that's really the problem here, his father's. So, and so he's on his knees begging for mercy and all that. So she's emotionally destroyed him. And then they have a teaser at the end where he gets the idea to run for mayor of New York. I don't know how that plays out. But ultimately, when Daredevil defeats him in the Daredevil series they're going to do, it'll really be because of Echo. She defeated.
Which party is he running with?
yeah, I know. Can you guess, Andy? Can you guess?
I just don't understand.
No, I don't either. But they did it.
At no time in this review did me or Douglas say this week or last week that we understand how any of this happens or why. But we're just saying that this is what they put on the screen, and you're just supposed to buy it. And I'm going to go back to your analysis earlier in the show, Doomcock. A lot of what's happening here is that it's like you said, moving pieces around. It's like literally they're playing like, okay, then this person should do this, and then this person should do that, and then this person should do that. It's like I can just imagine the writer's room with a bunch of people like okay, and then they should do that, and then they should do that, and none of it has any arc, none of it has emotional impact. I mean, I gotta tell you, even the first 5 minutes, like I talked about last week in the first episode, if I were going to go there, I would have had like a narrator beginning, like, a long time ago, there was a legend that told them that, something to draw me in. Instead, I'm like, how come these native, because I was looking at it, and I'm just going to say it because I'm Mexican and I can say and get away with it on this panel. I'm looking at it, I'm like, how come they're not in teepees down by the river? And they were instead in the mystical cave holding up the,
I know.
Nothing made sense from minute one. And it just kept going. And I don't even know why I finished it, because last week I only saw like 2 episodes in 10 minutes. But somehow I felt the need, and I'm like, well, maybe it gets. No, I didn't get it. You know what I did at the end as a palate cleanser? I watched more episodes of Battleship Yamato, which is from the 70s. As a clap.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I have taken a deep dive into Battleship Yamato. I now own the. I got a set of DVD shipped to me from Japan, so I'm watching it in the original Japanese, and I watched the live action movie.
Wow,
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
No.
shout out to Jack White. He finally got through to me.
Jack White, congratulations,
It
man.
took a year and a half, but yeah, I finally found something I liked.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back on point. Point is that goes a
Persistence.
waste of time.
Well,
yeah, it is. I mean, look, first of all, it's not a very well-known character, so why would you know? But we know why, and all of that. And they did say that they did a deep dive into Choctaw legends or myth or what have you. And so I assume that this is some accurate origin myth of the tribe, and they infuse that in with it. But I mean, the original comic book story is once again much better, very practical, and they took some of those plot points, but they just didn't do them well. But going through it and brushing up on it, I realized, oh well, it's all men mentoring her and stuff, so that's a problem. And plus, it was a heterosexual romance story between her and Daredevil. Well, we couldn't have that. And ultimately, her redemption is helped by Wolverine, where she discovers Japanese culture and the samurai code and all that. And she actually became Ronin. That's how I first discovered the character in the comics, when she was in the Avengers as the Ronin character that Hawkeye played in the Hawkeye series. You know, which the Hawkeyes, those years he was the Ronin, would have made a better series. But nevertheless, just missed opportunities all over the place. And once again, another show that honestly doesn't even respect the characters that they promote. So, you know, especially since I said, like, there's no real hero narrative here. It's some sort of revenge plot, but I don't see any real redemption of her, that she's learned that I can't be pursuing the criminal underworld or anything. It's just she wants to be the boss for the most part. And she gets some sort of revenge on Kingpin here, and that's about it. But she's not presented as a heroic character because, like I said, she murders people.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem to have a problem with it, you know. So I see no evidence that she's changed her ways or anything like that. So
I just got one question for you, Douglas. Does she ultimately kill the patriarchy and become the queen pin at the end of it?
well, she doesn't become Queen Pin
No.
because she lets Kingpin go, but she broke his mind and revealed him to be a blubbering, scared little boy, which is what all men are. So there you go. So in a way, yes, she did. I mean, she didn't cut them off, but spiritually she did.
Wow.
You know what her time would have been better spent is if she had all these superpowers. She should have gone back to Manhattan and renegotiated that deal for the island of New York and Manhattan. You know what I mean? She should have used her superpowers to, like, you know, sign over some quitclaim deeds. You know, get some land back.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why these women, like, why do they always like have to evolve to like getting these, you know, amazing powers at the end, you know, like perfecting themselves, and, you know, oh, I've unlocked the secret to Choctaw wisdom, or
Right.
you know, Captain Marvel has remembered how to use, you know, whatever, you know, magical bullshit, you know, level 10, you know, like in a video game. Why can't it ever end like grizzled, you know, action movies used to end with men, you know, like broken down and, you know, drinking at the end, you know, and like they've done their job, but now they're still broken and fucked up. I mean, you know, they always wind up being the bestest ever. Just once I would like to see, you know, one of these like fabulous women, like at the end, crying in a gutter, drinking fucking bourbon out of a bottle and masturbating with an old bottle of turtle wax or something. You know what I mean? Just in the gutter. Wow. It's like broken, like beyond giving a fuck. It's like, well, I got this old bottle of turtle wax. I'm just going to use that because I'm beyond giving a fuck. I can't even be bothered to go down to the adult bookstore. I'm just going to use this fucking bottle. I don't care. Go ahead and stare. I don't care. Hick. You know?
Well, the streaming service is referred to as D+. The initials would be DP, but don't go too far with that.
I was thinking that, like, Disney has made the plot lines to all those 70 pornos look like masterpieces at this point.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have plots. They're simple.
Yeah, they do.
They have
Yeah.
plots.
There's plots in there.
Well, Andy, those XXX parodies of modern movies are like better than than the movies they're parodying. You know, they have better stories, better actors too, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
figure.
season 2.
Well, they're all
The
method
other sad
actors.
thing with this is that Disney came out with an advertisement today on email, and it said, "Can't get enough of Kingpin? Go watch Daredevil. Set your stream to TVMA to watch." And apparently, it goes back to the Daredevil show that they inherited. That was actually, from what I understand, was pretty good. Was it not?
Yeah, because
The
that blubbering
Netflix.
mess.
Yeah, it was excellent.
That blubbering mess was the same guy that decapitated someone with a car door.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really pathetic.
I mean, yeah. After sitting through this, go see. It's like, hey, what happened? Well, Disney happened. And yeah, I mean, it's just like so many opportunities. I mean, so the actress had one leg, so they had to rewrite the character so that she lost her leg. And I mean, the scene they show where she has the accident that loses her leg, that you would not have lost your leg for that injury. They could have fixed that, but nevertheless, they decided, amputate. But they never, like, okay, she's got this prosthetic leg, so I was thinking, she's probably gonna have all kind of weapons in it and stuff, you know, like Planet Terra.
Right, yeah,
but no, they
exactly.
don't do anything with it. You know, I mean, the character didn't have any superpowers other than that she apparently had the same ability that Taskmaster had, where she had some kind of photographic memory, and if she studies you, she can copy your fighting techniques, and that's where the name Echo comes from.
Well, the other thing is it had a shitty origin story. One of the key hallmarks of all great origin stories, whether it's Green Lantern or the list goes on, is that there's a great origin story where the powers gained and attained are somehow in sync, or there's this amazing purpose-driven story arc as to what gives rise to that, and there's none of that here.
Right.
I got to hand it to Disney. They pulled a fast one on us here, guys. I didn't know this, but apparently the actress really is an amputee and deaf.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't? No, yeah.
I had no idea. Well, I mean, that's a perfect setup for, any kind of criticism, because they can say, well, she really is that. Oh my God, this is just so horrible what you're saying. As if that has anything to do with the story. You just hire a person that fits the character of the story. You don't change it because of the person that you're trying to hire's, disabilities.
Yeah.
Well,
That's very slimy. That's very, very slimy.
Well, that's standard. I mean, they tokenize
all
their characters.
I didn't know she really was that. That's
really
even
deaf.
lower.
I think I think they were searching for someone who was actually deaf, because although as far as I know, Charlie Cox is not blind, so I don't know how that breaks the rule there. But nevertheless, that's a
Well, that's
constant
fascism.
pursuit. Yeah.
I think they should be more authentic and have her do all of her own stunt work, though. That would be brave.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. It's going to be so like, this movie is about a severed head, and actors are going to be like, okay, get the hacks on. Stand by with the tray of corn syrup, okay? Make sure my head gets in there. I'm going to go audition and cut their own fucking head off, put it in the corn syrup, and ta-da! Yes, there we go. The skull of Calderon. Look.
Calderon, the role is yours.
They said he'd never work again.
I don't know, man. It just should be like, one of these stunning brave women at the end should just wind up in the gutter with a box of wine, just right over their head, just pouring it right into their mouth as they punch themselves repeatedly in the boob just to be able to fart. It's like they can't even, they're so broken down, they can't even work up the will to fart. It's kind of like having to slap themselves silly just to break wind. That's how low they are. But
give them a drug habit or something too.
Needles sticking out of the arm and legs, toes. Nothing works anymore.
I can't believe all these female characters that Disney has created in Marvel so far, and nobody's tried to steal anybody else's boyfriend yet.
Very unrealistic.
Marvel's supposed to be the world outside your window. Like, come on.
You're gonna give them ideas. They're gonna start stealing each other's girlfriends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Monarch. That's Monarch.
Yeah, Monarch. That's
right?
Oh
Yeah,
God,
pretty much.
I skipped Monarch after hearing what I've heard about it.
They
Well,
basically
it ended-
defeat Godzilla at the end of Monarch by just having these women like talk to him. You know, as he's approaching the city, they're yammering on about, you know, equality and,
down.
you know, yammering about how daddy left me and, oh, I stole brother's girlfriend. And Godzilla just stops and he just looks and he's, fuck this. He just turns around and just walks back into the sea.
Well,
They
the
say,
look-
where are you going? He just waves them off, you know, not even looking back. He's like,
F this show. I'm out of here.
fuck this. I'm going to
Well,
go
they're looking
hang
for
out.
that other kaiju, like a lot of puss.
Oh, my God.
Well, anyway, after Echo, I watched the latest episode of Reacher, and of course, it was absolutely excellent, and that
Yeah.
fixed a lot of that was the chicken soup. But the one thing that kept coming to mind is this, I wonder what the difference in budget is between Echo and Reacher. I mean, I bet you Reacher didn't spend anywhere near as much money
Oh, no way.
No.
way.
as Echo
No.
did.
No way.
It's obviously they had a script.
Well, yes, they had to pay a writer, and
They had a script, and
Yeah.
so that helps because then you know what you need and you know where you're going and you're not
Yeah.
scrapbooking. You know, I guarantee you there's no scrapbook scene where Reacher, you know, has a sex change or, you know, they didn't have to go there. I think every single Disney project has scrapbooking where the lead character, the lead male, has a sex change. They just haven't implemented it yet. It hasn't quite played right, but
yeah,
I bet you it's in every
once they
single
buy
one.
the rights to it, then they'll have that narrative. Well, the reason Reacher can't ever commit to a woman is because he's not really into them. He
Yes.
wants to be them.
Yes, well, you know,
There you go.
Disney is going to buy Reacher away from Amazon, and the new title is going to be Reacher Around. And
Reach around. Yeah.
it's going to involve Reacher being a Boy Scout troop leader who leads his troop on interesting adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
it, Doomcock. No, you did it.
Reacher Around. It's going to
Wow. Okay. So
Wow.
so
Oh,
I just pulled this up, guys. So they spent reportedly they spent 40 million per episode on Echo.
Oh my God. You don't see it. You never see it.
they spent
You
50 million on fucking Joker.
Yep.
The
they,
whole movie.
Yeah, I know the whole movie.
they
He
spent
spent
14
16 million on Godzilla minus
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
14
Yeah.
per episode for Reacher season 2.
How much, Nick?
14 million for Reacher season 2.
Per episode?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
but
That's a
It's
lot of money. Really?
But it's
Wow.
not 40 million per episode.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not 40 million, but
And with their 8 episodes of Reacher season 2,
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know how many
Yes.
there are.
Yeah,
It's not
last
finished
one,
yet, right?
last one will be Friday.
Right.
Well, you're
Okay,
able
yes.
to
So
afford to
that'll be
spend
8.
14 million per episode after you have a really good season like Reacher season 1. You know, then you can spend more money on the next one.
Yeah.
Well, you can clearly tell they're not paying for the high-priced DEI official to be overseeing every scene.
Yes, that's blatantly obvious.
Well, Echo was 5 episodes, right? Douglas?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
5 long episodes.
Let me
Yeah.
correct. Let me correct myself. They spent 40 million on all 5 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
that's
as I
more
read
sense.
down, it said that it was for all 5.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. I think in Reacher Around, Reacher has to infiltrate a gang of drag queens who are planning a heist. And halfway through the season, he becomes intrigued.
That's
Yeah.
right. He discovers something about himself he didn't know existed.
He becomes intrigued. So, yeah.
To Wong Fu, it's Jack Reacher.
well, I will say that we got the good news. You got Reacher out there with the last episode of season 2 on Friday, and then the following Friday on January 26th, Masters of the Air comes out on Apple Plus, which is the kind of the World War II Band of Brothers, where it's about the airmen.
Oh
in Europe.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I want to see that. That
So
looks
that's
like
something
it's
to
gonna
look
be good.
forward to.
Yeah.
So will he be jack off, reacher around? I'm just asking. I don't know.
It's just Reacher.
Oh, at some point you just have to laugh, because
Mm.
you know that Disney would think about doing this.
Oh yeah.
Well, hell, I'm surprised Amazon didn't. They just this is one of the Reacher's one of those shows that they just ignored, and thank God.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
these things happen. I mean, the ones they paid attention to, Rings of Power, Wheel of Time. Oh yeah, and after I finished the Reacher episode, you know how they'll say, "Now stay tuned for this other episode they want to throw at you." It was Wheel of Time. I mean, are you out of your mind? It's like, yeah, you like Reacher? Well, you're gonna love this. I don't
God
think so.
Almighty.
So,
Did any-
good shows are accidents.
You
Yeah.
need a break from all that
nobody
testosterone.
they ignored them.
I gotta say, yes, his first name was Jack, Robert Kraut. Yes, exactly. Hence the jack off, reacher around. But
It's just Reacher, damn it.
But enough of making programming tips for Disney. I want to go ahead and just say they have finished season 5 of Fargo. And it kind of went south, folks. It started out like the first 4 or 5 episodes were really, really good. And then they have an episode where it's all about, domestic abuse and, women getting beat up. And there's a puppet show. I'm not kidding. Where she helps work her way through a trauma, and it just dies at that point. And moving forward, it's not as good. It's just John Hamm plays just this psychotic, woman beating,
So a male Amber Heard.
yeah, basically. and it just
he
went
does
down
that?
the toilet. So I'm just
He shits
warning
in his
you
police
guys.
car.
Yeah. But I still say that season 1 of Fargo, if you haven't seen it, it was just fucking great. Billy Bob Thornton was fucking incredible. If you're looking for something great to watch and you haven't watched season 1 of Fargo, check it out. Season 2 was also good, and I haven't seen season 3 or 4, but I enjoyed season 5. It was good up to a point, and then it went down the toilet. So
I'm hearing a lot of people aren't liking this new True Detective either with Jodie Foster.
I'm not watching it. It's like, it's been diminishing returns. I loved the first season of True Detective. I thought it was fucking amazing. God damn. Woody Harrelson and, what's his name?
McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey. Absolutely fantastic. Second season was complicated, but good. Third season was mediocre, and at this point, I'm kind of checked out.
Did you guys know that Woody Harrelson's father was actually a hitman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just
yeah.
saw
you mean
it.
for real?
Yes.
Yes.
How'd this
Yeah.
come out?
Apparently,
Oh, it's been out for a while.
he was in prison and he was a mob hitman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he killed a federal judge, didn't he?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was always speculation that he was one of the hobos with the Kennedy assassination stuff.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. That he was one of those there.
That's
Oh
not
my
true.
God. On the grassy knoll?
yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys they suspected or whatnot.
Holy shit.
Did they ever find out who hired him to make that hit?
Well, those documents haven't been released yet.
Yeah, 75 years.
The other latest thing is, did you know that Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, I think, are related? They were able to prove that they were related.
No shit.
wow.
Wow.
Like distant cousins or whatever.
They had great
I
chemistry
think-
together.
Yeah.
I think
That was a great
maybe
one.
Same father, so they may be brothers.
Oh
half
wow,
brothers.
they may have the same father. Oh.
Wow. Well, Papa was a Rolling Stone,
Daddy got around.
Yeah.
wherever he laid his hat, was where the fatal bullet got fired from. But oh well.
Wow. So one of the guys that's accused of, in a conspiratorial sense,
Right.
murdering the president of the United States has two sons that became huge movie stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny world, isn't it?
Rewards, maybe.
Dun dun dun.
Wow. Maybe it's true.
There's
Look,
karma.
we'll make your kids stars if you keep your mouth shut.
Wow.
Admiral Teague says this is known. They thought he may have been involved with JFK. He was near the grassy knoll. So there you go.
Yeah, they think he was one of the hobos that was the train.
Holy shit.
Now he denied it.
Yeah, he did. Well, a lot of people denied it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Let's not get into that. I know too much about it because
That's a long-winded rabbit hole.
I ain't
It is.
seen nothing. I ain't seen who shot that godless commie son bitch. Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. A little bit of weird trivia. Anyone else watching anything of note before we go to a next round of super chats and get to our movie this week?
No, nothing of note.
I started watching The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's good.
And that's I just started on season 2, and I've really been enjoying that.
So I want to plug one old show that if you get a chance to ever watch reruns of. So I did a thing on Family Ties for my channel, but I rewatched some of the ones. I showed you guys my disc set. The thing about it that I want to point out that why it was so good is that you had a family unit, had different political and philosophical. They were very different in what they believed and what they supported, but they still came together as a family and accepted each other despite their disagreements. And unlike today, where we're fighting each other off over all these things, that's how it should be. And if you want something wholesome, go back and watch some of that show because it'll make you feel nostalgic and it'll show you the way I think a family should be and loving and accepting regardless of how you believe. So.
And what show is this again?
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Oh, okay.
Fox, yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's look at some more of these super chats, shall we? All right, let's see what we got here. Let me get back to the screen. Jake Martin has joined the channel membership at the Dominion level. Thank you so much, Jake Martin, and hail to you, Jake. Welcome, my friend. I've actually got a member video I'm probably going to post tomorrow, so that'll be exclusively for you guys. Welcome, Jake, and thank you. Dark Saber Force with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Dark Saber Force says, so they're straight ripping off the Jason Gianna solo storyline from the EU book, The True Children of Han and Leia. I'm so pissed. Essentially that kind of seems to be the case. They have no imagination, these people. They will not go out in any kind of original direction. They're just derivative, just feasting off of the corpse of Star Wars like the parasites and scavengers that they are. And that's one of the reasons why we should stop watching Disney Star Wars, folks. We should definitely stop it.
Yep.
Gary Gordon has been a Dumenta of mine for 6 months now. Thank you, Gary. He says, money-making idea for Disney. Sell pet kyber crystals. 1975 pet rocks. Just kidding. Pet kyber crystals. I like it. Yeah, pet rocks. Jesus Christ. What a fad that is, huh? Thank you, Gary Gordon. I appreciate that wit, sir. Tippy Tail McKinney has been a channel member of mine for 45 months now. Thank you, Tippy Tail McKinney. Says, KK turned me into a newt. Well, I got better. Thank you, Tippy Tail McKinney. I'm glad you got better. I'm glad she didn't leave you a newt. I'm glad she wasn't under your bed trying to, make you lame and gay. The Funny Hatter with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Funny Hatter says, I feel a great rage from Lucasfilm's incompetence, but I must remind myself, would George want us to fall to the dark side? He would not, although his comment about selling his baby to white slavers was pretty dark side himself, but I guess he got better. So we won't hold him to a higher standard. Infinity Flare with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Infinity Flare says, it seems super dangerous to be a parent in Star Wars, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Padme, she didn't make it. Died in childbirth. Old Han Solo just strolled right into that lightsaber like an idiot punk. Holy shit. Yeah, parenthood is not a good thing in Star Wars. I think that's safe to say. The Ginger Menace with a $5 super chat. Hail to Mary Ashmead. Thank you for wrenching tonight, Mary. The queen of the wrenches, ladies and gentlemen, the Ginger Menace. And with a $5 super chat, she says, Doomcock, so glad to be here again on Pop Culture Breakdown. I am here for the duration, and I'll be here Friday night too. Feeling good. I am so glad, Mary. It's been a long road with a lot of pain for you, and I'm glad that the new injections are helping control the pain and making you feel better. I know when you were in crisis, and I'm really glad you made it through this rainstorm into the light. That is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, my friend. And London 19657 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, London. He says, dang it, Bob. Dang it, Bob. Those 3 words.
Dang it, Bob.
So much, don't they, Mike? They say so damn much. Sad songs say so much, and so does Dang It, Bob. Tycho TMA1 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Tycho TMA1. He says, hey, DC, I recently got a set of 4 framed collector's plates of the first 4 USS Enterprise ships from a thrift store. I think I'll give it to my dad for his birthday at the end of the month. Well, that is cool, man. I've got my mom actually got me a collector's plate of the USS Enterprise, a really beautiful picture of the Enterprise, and it had the whole cast kind of at the bottom of the plate. You know, it had gold around it saying USS Enterprise and Star Trek. Really cool. I like that, Tycho. I bet you that your dad is going to like that as well. Thank you so very, very much, my friend. Congratulations on that find. Joe Mama with a $10 super chat. Hail, Joe Mama says, okay, I know this might be a bit on the pretentious side, but Doomcock was right. Well, yeah, sure. There's nothing. You're not going to get slammed saying Doomcock was right on this channel. I'll tell you that much. And he says, anywho, Mike, is Disney even worth what we as investors gave them anymore?
Eesh. Probably not. I mean, no, not really.
I mean, they value significantly, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how much, the reason I hesitated, in my head, I would said it's Disney Plus worth what you pay for it per month, given the other things you could spend that money on. No, are the movies worth what we pay for them? No. I mean, look, I mean, none of that. Going to the park, I mean, for the amount of money you pay, you wait in line, and I mean, I don't know. I guess not. Sad.
Yeah, it really is. And I think it's indisputable that they have lost significant, company value. I mean, metrically. I mean, you just look at, the stock prices lost something like 50% of their value from their peak. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. Depends. I guess it depends, Joe Mama, on when you bought the stock, right?
Yeah, or like, let's say you inherited and then it went up significantly and then you bought it at its all-time high only to watch your portfolio crash and burn. Oh, wait, sorry, personal info.
Yeah, poor Mike. Well, we won't dwell on that. We'll move on. Thank you, Joe Mama. Evan Peterson with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Evan. Says, DC, I just found out yesterday that Tyrone Magnus watches your show. He doesn't review it like the drinker, but he watches it. Wow. Well, hail to Tyrone Magnus. That is super cool. I guess he must have given me a shout out or something, huh, Evan? Well, that's super cool. I want to say thank you to Tyrone and, keep on keeping on, brother. I really, really appreciate that. Maybe we'll have to hang out sometime, do something together. That would be super cool. Thank you very much, Evan Peterson. God bless, my friend. Joe Mama with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Joe. Says Mike, one love. Mike, one love, and also go Pack, go.
No,
he
no
was
pack,
taking a shot.
no,
He
no
was ta-
pack, no.
Oh my goodness. He was taking a shot at you, Mike. He was
I saw
setting you
that.
up.
Yeah, no pack, no.
Well, I got to root for the Packers. God knows. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off again, but holy shit, that was really, really something. TLJ Screwjob has been a Dominion of mine for 16 months. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob, and says, who else won a Saturn Award? Ryan Johnson. Yay. See, everyone knows the Saturn Awards aren't worth a squirt of piss, period.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he won a Uranus award.
Shit. If not, he should definitely be
That's no moon. It's Ryan Johnson's head.
It's too big to be Ryan Johnson's head. Uh-oh. In that black hole over there. What does that black hole lead to? A colon. Von Max with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Von Max. Hail to you. He says, hail all. January 24th, June part 1 in IMAX with intro of part 2. Next month, June 1984, 40th anniversary back in theaters. Wow. Really? And in March, Dune part 2. I can't wait. Yeah, holy shit, man. That's cool. Gary, what did you think about Dune? All right. Do you like
I haven't
the
seen
David
the
Lynch
new one. I love the David Lynch one. I haven't seen the new one though. I just realized though that the guy that plays Paul is the guy that played Wonka, so that kind of I don't know about that.
Yes.
But I love the Lynch movie.
Yeah. I know you love the score, the Toto
Oh, yeah.
score. Amazing that Toto was doing that, but
Yes.
I listen to that score all the time, man.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I like to read it. I listened to it when I was reading The Expanse. You know, when I'm reading science fiction books, I just like to put on the Dune music in the background. It was
Yes.
kind of a perfect soundtrack. Really is awesome. Michael Beacom with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Michael. God bless you, brother. He says, listening to everyone talk about Star Wars is like watching a doctor or TV show with them standing around discussing treatments for the patient while standing around the patient's covered grave. Michael,
right.
well said, sir. Well said. Oh, shit. It's like we're, Dr. Marcus Unwellby. That's who we are. We're diagnosing the dead patient. Oh, well. Too late. Missed it by that much. Orthodox Review with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Orthodox Review. Says, Mexican Iron Man, please, for the love of God, say inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
All right. Here we go. A little, Princess Bride action right there. Inconceivable.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Inconceivable.
there you go. That's what he was
I think
hoping
it means
for.
what you think it means.
Well, the last scene of that movie is the girl jumping out of the window.
Uh-oh.
Just saying.
Uh-oh.
But it's the girl. It's not.
It's not him. It's not him.
Kind of like the heart and soul and effort and commitment of the average Eagles player jumped out of their soul in the locker room before they started the first quarter.
Oh! Uh-oh.
Remarks like that will not get you a cheesesteak when you come to Philly.
Oh, man.
I can visit you in Philly. I just want to get in and out of a Walgreens safely.
Says the guy from San Jose.
Mr. Ambrosia, I'll have you know, sir, that I'm no longer a California commie. I'm a Southern boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm jealous.
I actually, I'm thinking about like this whole medical thing, and I think they really are. Disney is missing out. They ought to do another, sequel to Final Destination and have it starring Kathleen Kennedy and Jar Jar Abrams and Ruin Johnson, where they keep killing the patient and then trying to bring it back and asking what it saw. In this case, the patient being Star Wars. You know, they're just killing it, bringing it back. Each time it gets more fucked up. That might actually work. That might actually have something. And Remy Canadian in the chat said Hugh Laurie's House MD is more of a Doctor Who than Doctor Who in the last 4 years. Am I right or am I right? Fuck yeah. Hugh Laurie would have made a great Doctor Who. He's amazing. And I like House. I really enjoyed House. Shit, you knew people who were on House, Gary.
Yes, I did. Yeah, Hugh Laurie would have been a great Doctor Who. I never even thought about that.
Oh, he would have been great.
Wow,
man.
that would have been
You can pull off
something
that
else.
British accent too.
Yeah, well, he's amazing. He's a really fucking great actor.
Yeah, he is.
Really great actor. I've never seen him in something where I thought he sucked. He's always.
I want more
always
Blackadder.
Oh God, I love some more Blackadder. They should do some more.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora Uplinks with a $5 super chat that was retracted for some reason, but I thank you anyway. Aurora Uplinks, very, very much. GraphWeb with a $2 super chat. Thank you, GraphWeb. Says hashtag cancel Disney Plus. You don't have to preach to me. I wrote a song about it. Thank you, GraphWeb. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. And Felix P with a $2 super chat and more hashtags. Thank you very much, Felix. He says hashtag Mexican Iron Man, not a YouTuber. Hashtag dividend sucks.
Thank you for your support.
I think he's right. I think he's got you nailed down there. Trevin Lane with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Trevin says, hail DC and panel. Hail to you, Trevin Lane, and God bless my friend. Thank you for being here tonight. Aaron Pipes with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Aaron says profits are for racists. Disney has reduced its movie fan base to the point can only earn $350 million to $500 million. Need a max movie budget of $100 million at most to make a profit. Disney could even fuck that up, you know?
Disney could fuck him an orgasm.
Yeah. But I think you're right, Aaron Pipes. They need some fiscal discipline, and they don't need to be wasting all this money on garbage, frankly. I mean, Jesus Christ, how do they expect to make money? I guess they just don't care, though, Aaron. I think that's the case. They just do not give a shit. Big Dave K has been a channel member for 23 months now. Thank you, Dave. Says, when is Disney officially going under? ETA? I don't know, man. They may be too big to fail. I'm not sure. I mean, how long before their values cut in half? Well, that day's already arrived. You know, I guess the real question is, how low can they go?
Yeah, and what do
go?
they need to sell off? I mean, what do they need to sell off to bring in cash? Because now, I mean, they're selling off. Who would have thought that they're looking for money for, ESPN and all this other crap?
Yeah,
but they are.
Yeah.
Bob's gone from be with a black Amex card at the mall where he's buying IPs to now he's like, well, would you be interested in this at my garage sale?
Y'all got any more of them franchises?
I think he's going to have to rent out his second bathroom to a, Vietnamese refugee family. They're just going to be boat people in there, just kind of hanging out. Fresh water. That's all you need. Unknown Skymaster with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Unknown Skymaster says, Overlord Most Mighty. With the road Hollywood is taking, will Japan replace it? Also, the Korean war film Devotion, recommend or no? I have not seen Devotion. Have any of you guys seen the Korean war film Devotion? Mm-mm. I have not seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
The one with, isn't that the one with, what's his name? Jonathan Majors?
I don't know.
Yeah, me and my 10-year-old saw it when it came out a year ago. It's over a year ago. I think it wasn't a year ago, last year.
Wow.
Yeah, we loved it, enjoyed it thoroughly, thought it was great.
Interesting. As far as the first part of this question about the road Hollywood is taking, will Japan replace it? Well, for the first time, with Godzilla -1 and the Heron, the Boy and the Heron, or the Heron and the Boy, I'm not sure what the title is. They were in the top they were two of the top 3 movies in the U.S. So that question is not as outlandish as it might have been a year or two ago. I don't know. I think more people in desperation, just wanting a little entertainment, are turning to Japan and liking what they're seeing. I mean, my God, One Piece, for God's sakes, was in my book the best thing on TV last year. Pretty much hands down, and I think that Godzilla -1 was the best thing in theaters. So I think Japan, if they put their mind to it, I think they could really, really seriously hurt Hollywood. And in fact, Nintendo is coming for Hollywood. I mean, they really, they're not going woke. They're working on this Legend of Zelda thing, and the Nintendo expansion over at Universal, this epic universe, I hear, is absolutely going to just make Disney's life all that much worse. They are going to dominate the theme parks with the Nintendo expansions of Universal. It's gonna fuck Disney World right up its Magic Kingdom. It's really, really gonna hurt them. So I think Disney is waning, and I think that their life is just going to get harder and harder and worse over time. Whether they'll collapse, well, I don't know about that, but they will be a shambles and a grotesque shadow of their former glory. I think there's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, I think Mario at this moment is probably a more recognizable brand and figure than Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, and Mario's not in the public domain. Ha! So, fuck him. And I just want to do this right now. Loud Boy gave their first super chat on a live stream ever just now. I want to thank Loud Boy for this $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. It's an honor, sir. And Loud Boy says, love hanging out with you guys. Kudos, Doomcock. Thank you, Loud Boy. It's an honor to have you here, my friend, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you so very, very much. All right, folks, I think it's time to go ahead and talk about let's talk about him. Yeah.
I got to cut out DC.
Oh, okay, Mike. Go ahead and plug anything you would like to plug, my friend.
Well, I'll let Nick plug the Friday show, but on Echo Base Network. But other than that, become a member of this channel. Doomcock has maintained his commitment to give members value, and I highly encourage anybody that that's thinking about it. If you want to get the ability to connect with DC in a different way than the videos in this live show and the Friday night show, become a member. I've been a member now for, I don't know, maybe I should hit my little thing on the way out the door, but I've been a member here for as long as I can remember, and I'm patron even longer. So do it. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and it's a very meaningful experience. So
thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for clarifying this Disney stuff, and you get a good night's sleep, and we'll see you soon.
I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, because I'm out next week because I'm with my kid at a concert, but I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We will miss you, Mike. We will definitely miss you. God bless, and have a good one, brother.
Later, Mike.
Night, everybody.
See you later.
Good night, brother. All right, let's talk about, and now for something completely different. All right, folks, we come to the segment, one of our favorite segments of Pop Culture Breakdown, the movies that we love. And this one is absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the funniest fucking movies ever made. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And you can see Monty Python, den Holy Grail. Down at the bottom, for some reason, they have Swedish or Norway. I don't know what the fuck it is, but they have little translations down at the bottom of the screen here. This is one of the funniest movies ever made. There's just no doubt about it. It just killed me. As a kid, I would say that I think the 3 things that shaped me more than anything growing up as a lad were Batman, Star Trek, and Monty Python. Flying Circus, the series, and then the movie came out, and it just floored me. Oh God, I couldn't stop fucking laughing. It was so good. So one of those things, there's points in this movie where you laugh so hard, at least I did, that I couldn't breathe. It's like where you can't suck in air because you're just doubled over, just laughing. You're so hard silently. You don't have any air in your lungs to make a noise. You just like all the noise went out, and you're just and it's got to gasp and start laughing again. This is a hell of a fucking movie, and I don't know what Gary is going to tell us, but I do know that oddly enough, this movie was a bomb when it first came out. Gary, is what I hear, that at test screenings it died, and thank God they fixed it. Did you get anything on that in your notes?
I did.
Okay, well then let's go ahead.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. A major mess of a motion picture that makes Ben-Hur look like an epic. Nominated for 26 Oscars, 3 Bryans, a Maureen, and 1 Sergio. Starring 6 of the least talented, tremendously oafish, and downright unattractive comedians in British history, produced on a budget of £229,575 and 42 pence, and bringing in $5,763,644.42 at the box office, ranking it at number 9,408 on the scale of 1 to 100 of the biggest wastes of time in the history of things to do whilst on holiday in Kent. Following the success of their television series, an attempt was made to bring the Pythons to the U.S. This happened in the form of their first motion picture, and now for something completely different. The film was a flop, and director Ian McNaughton was given most of the blame. It was during the 3rd season of their show that they decided to make another attempt at the big screen, this time adding Monty Python to the title to ensure its success. However, due to their first attempt being a fail, Rank EMI, the primary source of film financing in the United Kingdom, was not interested in funding their efforts. Securing its very modest budget was the help of some of Python's biggest fans, George Harrison, Elton John, the members of Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin. This donation by the famous musicians was a perfect solution. The donors had no interest in interfering with Python's creative process, and due to the astronomical taxing of the rich in the United Kingdom during the mid-1970s, it allowed the musicians a major write-off, which in turn made them even more money after its success, on which they had to pay more taxes. Terry Gilliam and Terry Jones had absolutely zero experience directing a motion picture before making this film. They were just handed a small budget and some equipment and allowed to go off and shoot a movie. The two directors tag-teamed the shooting schedule, with Jones working directly with the cast and Gilliam setting up the shots and working with the camera. Despite their close working relationships, the two Terrys were given very little respect from the other Python members. Graham Chapman had been drinking pals with the former director, Ian McNaughton, and constantly badgering the two Terrys, asking, "Why isn't Ian directing this?" Chapman's drinking issues caused many problems, one of which caused the actor, a self-proclaimed mountaineer, to clam up during the scene where he is supposed to cross the Bridge of Death. A crew member had to put on Chapman's costume and cross for him.
Oh, God.
Gilliam recalls one of his major hurdles as a director was to learn how to transition from animating bits of cardboard, fractions of an inch, by his own hands, to requesting actors hit their marks and running and keeping a crew of people on schedule. Apparently, John Cleese used to mock him because he'd be like, "John, can you just squat down a little bit? You're a little bit too high in the castle." And he was telling the rest of the crew that are up on the castle, like, this is all he does all day, is he just moves little bits of cardboard, a micromillimeter. He doesn't understand that we can't do that. He's just mocking him the whole time, apparently.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Contrary to how it may appear, the film had little to no improvisation. After Michael Palin and Terry Jones had completed the 4th draft of the script, 90% of it was rewritten, some of it happening just minutes before filming. The first draft of the script moved back and forth from the Arthurian legend to modern-day London, where the Holy Grail was finally found at Harrods department store at the Holy Grail counter. That would have been pretty funny. The film was shot primarily on location in Scotland. They were given permission by the government to shoot in many different castles and historical landmarks. Just as principal photography was about to begin, the Department of the Environment of Scotland informed them that they could no longer use the locations promised due to doing things that were inconsistent with the dignity of the fabric of the buildings. Throwing blood all over them and stuff like that.
Like that.
There you go. The crew had to seek out a non-nationalized castle. Doune Castle, Doune, became the single location for all of their castle needs, which was in turn ideal for their low-budget constraints. So all the castle scenes, every single one, they're all shot at the same castle.
Perfect.
Yeah. An extremely low budget was the inspiration for many of the gags in the film, from coconut shell horses to plywood model castles. But the movie was always intended to be this way, as following the style of their popular show. The Pythons write and perform in such a way that the audience members' expectations are completely subverted and their whole experience of a common movie narrative is destroyed. And you guys wonder where Rian Johnson got his inspiration. It is essentially an anti-movie in its method of announcing and even celebrating its poor special effects and cheap animation, subplots that lead to absolutely nowhere, and even making an ongoing joke through nothing but the use of subtitles during the opening credits. The movie is called The Holy Grail, and do they find it? No. The film is also a direct parody of the films of Bergman and Kurosawa.
With a
Run
flying
away!
cow. Petit lavage. What? Petit lavage.
throwing all the animals at him.
Kniggets.
Okay, this is a good one. I like this one. The man hanging from a wall during the Camelot musical number was a fan who happened to be visiting the set. When he got to meet the Pythons, he was ecstatic and said he would do anything to be in the film. So the Pythons chained him to a wall and rolled the cameras while screaming at him to clap. If you look at him in that scene, that's the funniest part. Because they're all singing, it just cuts to the guy who's on the wall and he's just kind of like... I can just hear him screaming at him, clap, clap. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh no, that looks like the Holy Grail, or is it a deceptive spotlight?
Yeah, it is.
Oh dear.
With the exception of Graham Chapman, all of the knight's chain mail was knitted yarn that was spray painted silver.
Wow.
The Python's go-to composer, Neil Innes, was hired to produce a score for the film. The budget only allowed for a 12-person orchestra, which was actually causing the jokes to fall flat. The DeWolf library was used instead, providing many sweeping and epic tracks, which were very much needed to convey the absurdity and irony of the film. Innes still contributed several tracks to the final film, including the Camelot song. I think that was an important choice made by Terry Jones because, you know, the music that he had, it just kind of sounded like a little 12-person medieval band. That was the original score. But the movie's so ridiculous and absurd that they went and got all these, you know, sweeping, epic 147-piece orchestra tracks, and they put it in there, and it made the movie sound so self-important when it was just ridiculous. It's great irony. It's really great irony.
Perfect, you know, I mean, library
It
music is fantastic. Night of the Living Dead, right?
Yes.
Nothing but library cues, and it's brilliant.
Yes, it is. Because there was literally no money left in the budget, Eric Idle proposed the idea that the cops just show up at the end and arrest everyone. He claims his daughter absolutely despises him for making this decision and just hates the ending of the film. Here's a good one. This was Elvis Presley's favorite film, and according to his close friends, he quoted it all the time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
Private
to hear
screenings.
Elvis. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Private screenings all the time. Just loved it. During the climactic ending, An army of knights assembles and is led to siege the Grail Castle by Arthur. The army consisted of students from a local university, the crew members, and their children. If you look closely, you can see among the knights several low-positioned helmets, carrying spears and running not quite so fast as the other taller knights. He just put big helmets on the kids and gave them a spear, and you can see them kind of like running along with the... That's great.
Peter Dinklage.
A promotional campaign for the film's theatrical release boasted, "This coconut could be yours," and offered the delicacy to the first 1,000 audience members on opening day. How about that? Buy a ticket, get a coconut.
Yeah. I love that
last note-
dragon, by the way. I love that creature.
Oh, you know what? I skipped a note on that. Now that you bring that up, Gilliam's cartoon creatures were based on the doodles found in the margins of medieval books, which the Pythons reviewed for inspiration while preparing the film. Apparently, the authors of these ancient books had at one point become bored or disinterested during a lecture and passed the time by doodling in their manuscripts. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
It's like they're looking at these ancient books and there's little sketchings of, skeletons and monsters and probably the guy who's giving the lecture, like I don't know. I thought that was very interesting.
That is super cool.
My last note, several crew members have testified to the dissent of the crew and general negative attitude on set during the making of this film. Everyone seemed extremely unhappy and just ready for it to all be over. During the first night of reviewing the rushes, Graham Chapman invited the entire cast and crew out for drinks on him and brought up the mood. When everyone went into the screening room, they laughed hysterically at the dailies, bringing back the camaraderie that was sorely lacking. I thought I had a note in here about the test screenings, but I do remember hearing something about it. Apparently, the test screenings, they went through, I think, 15 different cuts of this movie after the test screenings. They changed music, they cut scenes out, and the first test screening, it didn't go well at all. And they kept chopping these things out, but then they finally ended up, after about, I think, 15 edits, I think they had hired, they had an actual paying audience members who paid tickets at the Universal screening rooms, and it was great. Everybody loved it. It was the first successful test screening.
With the real, like the library music.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're just prancing around, banging coconuts together. I mean, it really adds a lot. And
every single hurdle that they faced financially in this movie, they made a joke about it in the movie.
Yeah.
They have coconuts because they couldn't afford horses, and then the very first scene in the movie, the person in the castle's arguing with them, how did coconuts get into England? And they start talking about the migration of a swallow and how the bird, a tropical bird could transport the coconut if, it could happen. And the guy's like, no, it's not a matter of if the thing can grab it. It's a simple weight ratio. How much does the bird weigh versus the coconut? They really went that far. That's how they created their jokes. So the low budget in the movie actually made the movie.
Yeah.
African or European?
I know.
It's absurd.
How can you tell that he's the king? He's the one not covered with shit.
Old woman, man. I'm like
this-
a woman of a man.
Oh, bad Zoot, naughty Zoot.
That's the version. I want to see those outtakes.
Oh man, I know. I mean,
The
I
movie's
would love-
absurd. It's just absurd.
I love this movie, and also I love how the cops come in at the end. I mean, the riot at the end is kind of like Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles, where you've got this stampede of all these cowboys and
Yeah, they're running off the Warner lot and
yeah,
going into the cafeteria and breaking into other sound stages and stuff. Yeah.
I love Dom DeLuise.
Oh God.
You silly, I
Doing the
can't
French
say it.
mistake.
Yes, the French mistake.
You know what that means? The French mistake. Mel Brooks said this years ago. Did you ever hear about that?
I assumed it was putting it in the wrong hole.
No, it's when you pick up a hooker in Paris and she's a guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
That's where he got it. But yeah, this movie is absolutely this balls to the wall absurd. It's an anti-movie. It's the opposite of your normal movie narrative. It's absurd, which is
to
like
me,
their show.
It's funny in the same way that Airplane is funny. It's just crazy shit. Just crazy shit for the sake of being funny, and it works for me. I like the Bobby show. It's just so.
Yeah, they just drive right in. They're about to siege the castle. A cop car just pulls in, fucking arrests them. Can you see any of the kids there?
I can't.
So.
Yeah, you can't tell. I like that kind of fucking improvisation and making lemonade out of lemons. It's like, okay, we don't have the money. Well, let's make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
I like the when they see Camelot. It's only a model. Shh.
That's because that was a 12-foot plywood cutout of the castle. It's fake, so they're like, let's just put it in the movie.
It works good.
Yeah, it does.
I wouldn't have even noticed it was a fake if they hadn't said it.
Right.
I just love this thing. Hail to Jason Green out there. Yes, I am reading Berserk, Jason. It's fantastic. Haven't watched the Bumblebee movie yet, but I am reading Berserk. Robert, you're a big fan of Holy Grail. What do you think about this movie?
Oh, I love this movie. So I was introduced to Monty Python when I was a kid. My parents introduced me to Monty Python, and they showed me Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I've loved it ever since. I quote it with my friends all the time. It's a hilarious movie. So first off, definitely recommend it on physical media, and if you can, this is like the special edition DVD that's got it's the ultimate DVD with special features. So it's got sing-alongs with all the songs. It's got a Lego version of the Knights of the Round Table song. It tells you how to use your coconuts in educational film. It's got all this extra stuff. It's even got a section on the DVD on the front. It says for the hearing impaired, and it's a hilarious thing because what they do is they read all the options really loud to you, kind of like play movie, extra features. It's hilarious. Definitely pick this up. But this movie's hilarious. So many funny scenes. One of the scenes that I noticed last night that I hadn't noticed in it, the swallow thing is actually hidden throughout the entire movie. And when you get to Sir Bedivere, when he's first seen, right before he gets to judge the witch, he is giving a swallow a string with coconuts on it and making it fly away. So oh my God, there we go. There's the swallow there. So it's in there in all of it. There's so many funny inside jokes in this that you won't get your first time watching it. So you kind of have to watch it again and again. And it's just, don't take it seriously. Take it as the fun sketch, because that's what it is. It's each little sketch, almost like the Monty Python show. And that's what makes it fun and so funny. The thing that I really think stands out is that the Pythons play so many amazing characters in this with such, different types of people. Like you got the wizard Tim, and you've got the old man, and then you've got the three-eyed giants, and you got the Knights of Ni, and then you got the French guys. It's just a lot of fun, and it's real funny. Another plug that I would have for this movie on a side note, Eric Idle took this film out on Broadway to a Broadway show, and I went and saw the show, and it's called Spamalot, and it's hilarious too. It's a big takeoff on this. It takes a lot of the numbers and a lot of scenes from Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and it's on stage. So if you ever get a chance to see it, if it ever comes around to where you are, go see Spamalot too. Spamalot's a lot of fun. But this whole movie is just hilarious. The Pythons, with all the different characterizations and all the different animations and everything you do, there's the Knights of Ni, probably one of my favorite scenes. And just go watch it. I highly recommend it. it's number one. It's one of the best, and it will cheer you up on a lousy day as well.
Yeah, that's true. I just was reminded of the scene where, the two guards at the wedding are standing outside the gate, and they cut to Lancelot like running at them from far away, and then they just stand there. You cuts back, you hear the little bird tweeting, and they just glance at them. They got flowers on their head. Oh, you get the drums as he's getting closer. He just cuts them all down and runs in there and kills the whole fucking wedding party.
Yeah, because he sees the guy and he goes, "I'm ready to leave," and he's trying to leave down the other thing. The dad's like, "Oh, you're Lancelot of Camelot," blah blah, and he cuts the rope thing, and his son falls.
Yeah. Fun, fucking hilarious. Nick, are you a fan of this at all? Have you seen it?
Man, I am about to be Mexican Iron Man from like 2 weeks ago. I am not a fan of this movie.
Wow, what the fuck?
I just cannot get into British humor. It's just
wow.
It's never really done anything for me. And I know this movie is just like Coach loves this movie. Like he loves it. I am one of the rare minorities when it comes to this film because I know so many people that absolutely love it. But for me, a lot of it just felt forced humor. It was kind of a lot of it just was very unfunny to me, very absurd, random stupid things seemed to happen throughout the whole thing. The line deliveries, the pacing, it also was like the pacing structure was really weird for me because it's like it just felt like a bunch of different sketches kind of just strung together, and then it was just like a movie. But yeah, I've never been a fan of it. I do like it better than Disney Star Wars, though. I will say that. But yeah, it just never did anything for me. I am the minority here.
I'm deeply disturbed. Wow.
When you guys were announcing this was going to be the movie of the week, I was like, oh no, not this one.
Oh wow. My mind is blown. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to that's okay. That's all right. Let's go to Douglas Nelson. Douglas, what do you think?
Well, Nick's got a point. No, I loved it. I loved all the Monty Python movies, and certainly Flying Circus and all that. And this is one of those testaments to a movie that didn't do well initially and yet has a much longer lifespan afterwards. Unlike some movies that hit $1 billion and are now not worth crap. So there's something there. But anyway, just all around. And then of course hearing all this, I mean, gee, you mean the horsies was because of budgetary concerns? Hey, I've got a solution. I'll figure around just one gag after another is just I don't know how you can't be entertained by it, but it happens, I suppose. But the Black Knight and everything like that. Going on and on. He's just like, God damn, come on, So, and then of course, very much in tune with a lot of comparisons to Blazing Saddles at the ending, where the police just show up.
Sure.
It's kind of a more even better way of handling something like that, but still a beloved film and a lot of solutions to problems, which is in a lot of ways, to be fair, is easier to get away with when you're doing a crazy parody and whatnot. Obviously, can't really do a Knights of the Round Table storyline and have them running around on sticks. But another thing is, and I'm completely serious. There are two films that I consider the best of the Arthurian legend, that being Excalibur, and then there's this.
I agree.
I mean, they can make them a package deal.
I know, me too. It reminds me of Excalibur. I can't
Yeah.
believe the yarn spray painted silver looks so good at like chainmail.
Yeah,
It
I didn't
really
even
looks
know
good.
that. Yeah, I did. So I was like, yeah, that does work. It's just a sweater. So, but yeah, I mean, you can't beat Monty Python. You could use a lot of it today. Of course, it wouldn't be allowed, but So anyway,
Yes.
all apologies, but I do have to take my leave. And
Oh
so
man.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Thanks. No, that's okay, brother. Let's go ahead and plug your channel and your artwork, your comics.
Yeah, the comics is the Night comic available at indieplanet.com. You can check that out. The channel is the Nelson Ratings. The locals page is the nelsonratings.locals.com with all kinds of Nelson goodies there. And you can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, I guess, at Mr. Nelson. And then same thing on Instagram. And I post a lot of artwork there too. Yeah. Oh, and the podcast, the Mr. Nelson Show over at radiomisfits.com or wherever you get your podcast needs. And I debut my audio plays there, of which Night comes from, but quite a few I do there, where I do all the voices. But on occasion, I have others, and soon we'll have one with Doomcock in it as well.
Yes, I'm honored. I need to get on that. Sorry about that, brother. But I will get on it.
All right.
Well, thank you, Douglas. Have a good night, my friend. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Douglas.
All right. Good night, all.
Good
Thanks,
night,
Doug.
brother.
Douglas, feel better.
Absolutely. Let's go to Andy Masterson. Andy, what do you think of this movie?
There are those who call me Tim.
Tim the Enchanter.
This was a huge part of my childhood, and well,
That explains a lot.
oh, Monty Python and Benny Hill, like that was I
Yeah.
lived with those two. And this movie came out. I was so jealous because my dad took my brother Mark to see it, but I was too young, so I had to wait, and then I finally saw it back in, I think it was like 1980. I was over at my friend Mark Capral's house. We were watching this on HBO or something like that, or one of the cable channels, which we were too poor to have, but we had friends that had it. So, and of course, we watched this and over again, and we would run around and recite the lines and do everything with the play all the parts. And there's been a few highlights in my life where I've been very proud to be a father. The first might be when I heard my son in his room, and he was about 4 years old, and I popped my head in there. I was like, "Hey, buddy." He's like, I see him there, and he's laying next to his Princess Leia action figure like this. He's, "Daddy, I don't need you in here right now." But then my daughter, she was in middle school, and they had to do a project where they had to make a castle. So she makes this elaborate castle, and she says, "I do need your help with one part." I said, "What do you need?" Like, "Can you make me a Trojan rabbit?" I made a little wooden rabbit, and she got extra credit from her teacher because he thought it was absolutely brilliant. So it's good to see that this thing has been passed on to the next generations. This is classic. I really feel bad for Nick that he doesn't get British humor, because I think it's probably some of the best out there. Completely absurd and stupid. And every part of this, like, does not cease to bring a smile to my face every time I think back on it. Great movie. All of their theatrical attempts, I've always really liked. This is probably my favorite because I've watched it so many times. But The Meaning of Life, The Life of Brian, even Yellowbeard, like, I just love all of them. And whenever I'm in a bad mood, I can pop one of these in, and it will cheer me up. So if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Great stuff, man. I really love it. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and if you haven't seen it, I urge you to go and check it out, because it is It is hilarious. It really is. It's just one of the most original, hilarious, lucky accidents I think that ever happened. Let's go ahead and ask some more super chat, shall we?
Super chats, mofo.
All right, here we go, folks. Sigvaldison with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Sigvaldison. He says, the time has come to unleash Harvey Cthulhu upon the world. Embrace the chaos and let him bring forth his unique brand of mayhem. Praise to our eldritch god. Hail Sigvaldison.
Hail, Sigvaldison. Your prayers are not lost on me, brother. Thank you very much for that. You shall perish in flames.
Thank you, Sigvaldison. Hamilton Berger with a $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Hamilton. Says, love Jordan conquers all. Go Packers. Oh dear. Unfortunately, Mike has already departed, but I'm sure we will convey that to him as well. Polly J has been a Dumentite of mine for 8 months now. Thank you, Polly. It says, hail DC, Harvey and panel. Thanks for the smiles. I appreciate you all. You're very welcome, Polly J. We're glad that you could be here tonight, my friend. Admiral Teague with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Admiral. Says, as a New York Jet fan, I have zero sympathy for any of you.
Man, they did not have a good year. If you're a Jets fan or a Patriot fan.
Oh, man. Sorry, Admiral. Sorry very much. You have my sympathy, my friend. You have my sympathy. Michael Whitehead with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Michael says he means the killer rabbit in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Thanks for Star Trekking. Made my night. 2 a.m. now in England, LOL. Ah, yes. Get it? It's very late over there, Michael. Thank you for staying up late with us here tonight, and I hope that you've had enough laughs to make it worthwhile. Radioactive with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Radioactive. Says PSA. Detox from Kurtzman Soy Trek with a daily dose of 100% organic, non-GMO, ethically resourced, free-range Star Trek, the original series. That's right. Star Trek, the original series, is soaked in testosterone, and that will help to counteract the Kurtzman Soy Trek that a lot of you have been poisoned by, sadly. Thank you, Radioactive. Radioactive also with a $5 super chat comes with this PSA. Remember, Nomad says, Kurtzman Soy Trek is faulty and in error. Must sterilize. Hail, Radioactive, a true Trek fan, man. He knows his stuff. Thank you, brother. Hail to you. I love it. Jerry Gord has been a Dumentite of mine for 11 months now. Thank you, Jerry. He says, I stopped watching Star Trek when Janeway said Kirk couldn't cut it in today's Starfleet. I stopped watching Voyager right then. Good. Voyager's pretty much crap, folks. You know, there were like, I'd say about 50% of the episodes were watchable and 50% were not. I've only looked at highlights. Yeah, it's not good, is it, man?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment.
I'm so fucking tired of, Kate Mulgrew doing a half-ass impression of Katharine Hepburn,
Yeah.
It's really, that's all she's doing. And I just cannot stand it. Her voice is really grating, really grating. Bun 299 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Bun says, as your minister of killer rabbits, I can assure you there are legions of the rabbit's descendants waging war against the lizard people at the center of the earth. A few even guard the button. Thank you, Bun 299. Those killer rabbits come in very, very handy, sir. Xanadu would have fallen long ago without them. Thank you for being a minister of killer rabbits, and a damn fine one, sir. Noah Gooder has been a channel member of mine for 14 months now. Thank you, Noah. Says, the wages of woke are broke. Harvard J. Cthulhu. Yes, Harvey famously said this in a video, and it has indeed caught on. Very proud of Harvey when he said that. Thank you, Doomcock. You're welcome. Warren B. with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Warren. Says, Echo's powers sounds like a ripoff of the old cartoon Brave Star. except he calls on spirit animals for his. I couldn't say. I haven't watched a frame of Echo, and I really don't want to.
Good.
God, I don't want to. It sounds so fucking awful. Loud Boy is a new channel member at the Dominion level. Thank you so very much, Loud Boy. Hail to you and welcome to the club, my friend. Really appreciate that you found us. Tater Pun has been a Dumentide of mine for 7 months now. Thank you. Tater Pun says, instead of writing a character that works around her weaknesses, they have Echo fight exactly like a burly man. It's about denying reality, not fairness. Yeah, this is a common symptom of wokeness in our pop culture these days, you know, that women can do anything. They're strong. They're invincible. They're a woman. Yeah, right. Shit, it's just absolutely ridiculous. At least in this season of Fargo, you know, they had this little slip of a girl doing, you know, Home Alone type shit to the men that were breaking into her house, you know, flamethrower, you know, hairspray and, you know, traps and all sorts of weapons and shit. She didn't take them on herself. That would have been crazy. Stark of Iron has been an arch villain of mine for 19 months now. Hail to the great Stark of Iron. And he says, I skipped Echo and I'm the Marvel guy. I didn't like her as Diet Taskmaster and I don't like her now. Thanks for discussing it. I recommend Ted for the next segment of what we're watching. It's on Peacock. Hell of a ride.
Oh, I'm gonna start that this either this weekend or this next week for sure.
I don't know what Ted is.
So it's a show, a prequel show based on the Seth MacFarlane Ted movie.
Right, the movie with the teddy bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, TV show based on that. When he was a kid, growing up with Ted, you know, the teddy bear when he was a kid, you know, going through school and all that sort of stuff.
Huh. Okay. Well, so I guess you learn something every day. I did not know that. Thank you, Stark of Iron. Noah Gooder with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Noah says, how does the man on the moon cut his hair? I don't know.
He clips it. Get it? Man on the moon cuts his hair. He clips it.
Oh God. Thank you, Noah Gooder. That's a definite corny joke, the kind that you can hear on Friday Night Frolics on Fridays. And TLJ Screwjob with a $2 super chat. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob. Says $225 million for She-Hulk, $25 million per episode. What the fuck? Yeah, She-Hulk was insane. I think it's all the reshoots and shit they did. You know, that's why it cost so much. I don't really know what else to say. That was insane. What a waste of fucking money. Jesus. Yep. Stark of Iron gifted 5 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. What a man she is. Hail to the great Stark of Iron. And please subscribe to Stark of Iron's channel. He's just starting out and could use your support, my friends. Mr. House Party 6 with a $10 super sticker of a pair bowing and saying thank you. Thank you, Mr. House Party 6, and hail to you, my friend. Kyle Johnston. It's been a Dominion of mine for 24 months now. Thank you, Kyle, and says, think I can put PTSD down for the VA cause, Echo? Perhaps. I'll permit it. I'm going to take over the world. They can't question me at that point. I will allow you to do that, sir. Hail to Kyle Johnston, and thank you for being a channel member, my friend. London 19657 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, London. He says, it's fun trying to listen to you all and read all the funny chats. Love you all. Thank you very much, London 19657. Yeah, I mean, the chat is a great part of the show as well. There's so many great witty folks out there and intelligent people who are discerning and have excellent taste. I think I can say that without fear of contradiction. Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Loud Boy, for the first super chat you ever sent. That was a great honor. TLJ Screwjob with a $2 super chat. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob. Says, regarding D box office, Soul only made $500,000 last weekend. Didn't they release Soul on Disney Plus directly, or I don't know anything about Soul.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones that got caught up in the whole Coof thing.
Yeah.
And so they released it, but they just put it out in theaters, I think last week or something. I think it did like 93,000 or something like that.
Not
Yeah, it
good.
wasn't- Yeah.
Not good. Well, Disney, nice try. Bun 299 with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Bun says, for the Legend of Zelda movie, make Link and Zelda partners. Give Zelda the bow and silver arrows. Give Link the Master Sword and boomerang. Make everyone happy. I don't give a shit about making everyone happy. How about we just make it like the game and, Link is
The original.
rescuing the princess. How's that?
Yep.
The silver arrow kills Ganon, so no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it just being Link being the hero and, her being the princess. What do you say? Shall we do that? I think we should. But thank you, Bun 299. Mexican Iron Man has been an arch villain of mine for 49 months now. God bless you, Mexican Iron Man. And he says, dear chat, be like Mike and become a channel member. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. What a guy. He had to go, but he left a commercial in his wake. That is absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Mike. Love you, buddy. You were my hermano for sure. SFX F31 Saber-Tooth Raptor. Been a Dumentite of mine for 4 months. Thank you, SFX F31. And he says, what do you guys think of Paramount Warner Brothers merger? Always have fun watching you guys. Also, no love for James Doohan, Scotty, World War II hero. Oh yeah, no, I've actually met Scotty before at a convention and stuff, and a really, really nice guy, great guy. Paramount Warner Brother merger. I would ask Warner Brothers, what the fuck are you doing, and why do you want this damaged company? I mean, I don't know. I think it probably is good for Paramount to be bailed out in some regard, but I don't know why Warner Brothers would want them. Certainly not for Star Trek. It's fucked. I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't think Paramount is worth the paper the stock is printed on, for fuck's sake. I don't know. That's just my opinion. London 19657 with a $10 super chat. Thank you again. London says, finally a British film. Enjoy, colonists. Oh, sounds like we have a sore sport here. Beginner's luck, eh? Thank you, London 19657. What can I say? We're an independent sort, this country. Stark of Iron, who is a producer on Pop Culture Breakdown with an incredibly generous $50 super chat. Hail and God bless Stark of Iron. Stark of Iron says, I love this movie. Monty Python and the Holy Grail gave me some of my first impersonations, including the French taunter and the leader of the Knights who say, "Ni." One of my cherished pieces in my collection is the Black Knight, 9 inches, detachable limbs. Yeah. Everybody in Python played multiple roles in the movie except for Graham Chapman, who was only basically, well, actually, no, he was in one scene, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the Three-Headed Knights.
The Three-Headed Knight thing. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. But otherwise, he really only played Arthur. I don't know if that's because he was drinking so heavily or just because, the chainmail was heavy and getting him out of it was too hard. I don't know.
He's got bad breath. We never brushed my teeth.
Michael Palin played a lot of characters in that. In the special edition, it has a list of all the characters that each one of them played. So,
yeah, and so he only played those two, as far as I know, as far as I can remember. Evan Peterson with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Evan. And he says, this is the movie I was talking about. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Thank you, Evan Peterson, and hail to you, sir. Appreciate the super chat, as always. London 19657 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, London. London says, how does the sketch end? In an interview, they said once that they just call in the police. Yeah, lots of times they would end a Python sketch with, a cop coming in and saying, right, what's all this then? That would basically cut it. The cop would say, this sketch has gotten too silly. Let's move on, shall we? And Python has remained consistent. The Ginger Menace with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. She says, Doomcock, apparently Logan has 3 volumes of Berserk. He just handed them to me, so I will read them. I forgot that he had them. He is a manga fan. Cowboy Bebop and everything. I can't wait. Well, just be advised, Mary, it is full of graphic and extreme violence and extreme like sex and nudity, torture, all the wonderful things in life, but might be offensive to the delicate sensibilities of a lady. It really is not for the faint-hearted. So just letting you know, Mary, but give it a shot. I really love the fuck out of it. It's insane, over the top madness, just butchery and darkness and crazy shit, but I love it. So enjoy. You've taken your first step into a larger world. Hail to the Ginger Menace. And Michael Beacom with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Michael says, calling it an evening. Be seeing you. Hail on Friday, he says. Hail, Michael Beacom, and thank you. Be seeing you too, brother. And London 19657 with a very kind and very generous $20 super chat. Thank you, London. Says, hail, Gary. Bunny lives matter. Sorry, my joke fell flat. Well, hail, London 19657. Not that killer rabbit, though. Oh, that killer rabbit. I tell you, he's really something, isn't he? Let's go ahead and say goodnight and go ahead and plug away on our individual concerns. Gary, anything you would like to plug, please go ahead.
Just hail to the wrenches, hail to the chat. We love you guys. Thanks for being with us tonight. We know that you have many, many choices and wonderful shows to watch on channels like Disney Plus and CW and things like that. But you're here with us tonight, and we love you for it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next Wednesday. Stay angry, kids. We love you.
All right. Thank you, Gary Ambrosia. Robert Wright, please go ahead and plug away, my friend.
Yes. I actually have a YouTube channel, Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture, and I just did a review of the entire series of Family Ties, so check that out. There's also music from 1984 and Red Dawn are my most recent ones. This weekend I'm going to do Red Dawn, and then I'm going to do in 2 weeks, I'll do a presentation on the movies that came out in 1982 that you won't want to miss. Also, check us out on Friday night for Friday Night Frolics. Doomcock sings some wonderful songs. Harvey tells some bad jokes, and we have a lot of fun in the chat. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of humor, a lot of fun stuff. So come kick off your weekend with us here at 7:30 Central Time, right here on Friday Night Frolics on Doomcock's channel.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Nick of Echo Base Network, formerly a Star Wars channel. Go ahead and plug away.
Yeah, formerly a Star Wars exclusive channel. Of course, with all the latest news, we've been actually hitting on a lot of that stuff. I'm one half of Echo Base Network. We pretty much a pop culture channel as well. Covering Star Wars stuff when it's relevant, and any and all other news concerning pop culture. Got a documentary on the sequel trilogy that Doomcock narrated for us, and got another one in the works on LucasArts Gaming that should be out hopefully by the end of this year, and it's narrated by Mauler. So come over and check us out.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. And Andy Masterson, hope you're staying warm, buddy. It does look cold in there. Go ahead and plug away.
I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks so much. The show couldn't be here without you. It's a great time, and we hope you like it. We'll be back here next week, and we're going to determine what the movie of the week's going to be, and then we'll go on from there.
Sounds good, Andy. Thank you so much, buddy. Well, I hope everyone had a great time. I want to thank all of you in the chat. I want to thank all of my wrenches. You guys are absolutely awesome. Love you all. All right, folks, from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock, and saying hey to KR Companion as well. I just saw you pop up there, buddy. Bidding you all, my friends, stay safe, stay warm, and above all else, my friends, yes, stay angry. Good night, everyone.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night, everyone.